I'm gonna have to fucking send an email to Elon Musk. That fucking elevator music while I'm waiting. Like, holy shit.
No, it's a lot, innit? It's a lot, man. Like, I've tried to see if I could put my own music there or put some sort of other music there, but it's like, nah. It stays like that. That's exactly what it is as well. Elevator music, mate. Like, music while you're on hold on the phone. Dude,
I don't know what experience you've got of it, but like through the last fucking 10, 15 years or whatever, the number of times I had to deal with like the benefits people and the fucking same song fucking for years and years and years, and it was like you were on hold for about a fucking hour, and oh my god, I fucking hate that shit.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. But how you been, bro? How's your day been? How you been, man?
Mate, I've fucking been sleeping all day. My sleeping patterns all over the place, man. I've been awake all night and then sleeping all day. Not healthy, man. Not healthy at all, but that is what it is.
No, I hear that. I can't say much. I've been at work until a certain time. I got back out about 7. You know what I mean? I was like, right, let me set up for this, innit, for the space and stuff. You know what I mean?
What do you do for work, mate?
So I'm assistant manager of a betting shop.
And a betting shop? Oh, fuck, man. You see people like me all the time losing fucking everything.
Well, like, I do see people. I've seen some mad stuff, bro. Like, working in a betting shop. I've seen arguments. I've seen fights. I've seen a woman walk into the place that I was working at, into the shop I was working at, and her husband was sitting there playing the FOBT machines, they're called, and she tapped him on the shoulder. He turned around and went, "What do you want?" And I wanted a divorce, and walked out.
What?
I was in. Then that was like, I had kind of like not long started in that industry, so I'm talking like 2016 is when that happened. Yeah, that was about a year into me working there, so about 2016. Like, it was, and some of the wildest arguments you see, like when someone could be your best friend 1 minute and they could be the most abhorrent person in the world within 30 seconds of a race ending.
It's a dangerous thing, that gambling, eh? Like, when I'm lucky I can control that shit, you know, like, I've got the ability to know that, like, if I'm gambling, then everything I'm gambling with, I've already lost. That's how I take it. Straight away.
That's the way you gotta think, mate. You gotta think.
You know, but
I've said that.
Fucking, see the number of people I've seen like that, they'll attack those machines, you know, as if like it's the machine's fault. It's like, no, you're just fucking crazy because you gamble, like. But
I actually had that today, bro. I actually had that today. He battered this machine, yeah. And do you know what the worst thing was? He lost about £8.
Really?
About £8. I think he just had a bad morning or something like that, and that £8 was just the tip of the iceberg, and he absolute, you fucking, started screaming at the thing, started hitting it, shaking it, and obviously I've got to stand there and go, "Hey mate, I beg you stop doing that." And they turned around to me and goes, "Do you know how much I've lost?" I went, "Yeah, £8."
Yeah, do you know how much I've lost? Yeah, it's a computer, mate. We've got every fucking detail.
I can see everything that you've done. Everything that you've done on that machine, I can see right here in front of me. You lost £8, bro. We getting mad for £8 for? How stupid is that? I was like, bro, just get out the shop, bro, before me and you argue. If me and you argue, we're going to fight. And if I lose my job for you, I'm going to come and look for you, mate. You're going to pay me £1.5 or at least that fucking every month, mate. Know it. You're a gang. You're a gang. You're this. I was like, bro, I can be whatever you want me to be, but you still got to leave. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. And unfortunately, I work in shops where I'm sort of the loudest. I'm the one that's not scared of no one. I'm the one that will argue back with people.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone else around me, when someone starts screaming at them, they automatically turn and look at me and they're like, "Are you going to say something?" And like, sometimes I actually don't. Sometimes I sit there and go, "When you help yourself, I will help you." Like, why are you looking at me as soon as someone's, tell him shut up and leave. You've got the right to tell him to leave the shop. Tell him shut up and leave, mate. I don't know what you are looking at me for. And the mate goes, you're not going to say. I was like, I'm not saying a word, mate. This is between you two. I'm going to go and make myself hot lemon water. See you later. Like, and I'll be gone. You know,
mate, do you know the worst thing as well is that you work in an industry where your bosses want these people to keep coming back.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And here's the maddest thing as well. Yeah, like I work around. Obviously, I don't just see gamblers. I work around gamblers and all. You know what I mean? And like everyone always says to me, like, because I don't gamble at all. I don't gamble at all. Like. That's the maddest thing. Everyone's like, don't it make you out? I was like, no, bro. Like, gambling don't appeal to me in the slightest. It just doesn't. Like, it just never has. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, they all think it's a bit weird that, like, someone that don't gamble can be in a place like that for as long as I have and not even think about gambling. I'm like, mate, it's fucking easy. I just watch you.
Well, mate, you must know yourself. It's just a drug. It's just another kind of drug. Like, so... It's like smoking or anything. If you don't start, then it's not ever a problem. It's only once you start that you can get roped into the shit. But, now, well done you for not doing it, man. I've gambled like a fucking whore my whole life. But, I'm definitely not a winner from it. But you know, it's a lot of it I see is entertainment. You know, it's like if I put a cooking on the Saturday, then it's a couple of hours of entertainment of getting excited. Yeah. But that's really it, you know.
And that's, I'll say this now, it's like, if I ever did gamble, if I ever was like, right, I gambled, I'd mostly gamble on football alone. I wouldn't gamble on anything else. Because I know football. I don't want to gamble on something I don't know. Like, I know football. I actually understand their analytics and their data and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be real. There's still stuff to do with horse racing and dog racing, and I ain't got a clue, mate.
Aye, mate, that's me, like fucking horse racing, dogs. I've never touched it because I don't know a goddamn thing.
You know, don't get me wrong, obviously I know my basics, I know certain things obviously from learning, from working in there.
Yeah.
But, like, there's someone's come up to me sometimes and they say all these different things, and sometimes I have to look at them and go, bruv, you're gonna need to explain that to me because I don't know what that is. And then like, bro, you've worked in, I was like, brother, just because I worked in here, remember, I always say this, the people that know the best in a betting shop is the customer.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Know better than the people that work there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I sometimes I learn more of customers than I do off like the training that I do for work. Like, you see what I'm saying? In certain things, obviously, like I'm gonna learn more through training. But there's certain little things, like certain nuances, certain unwritten rules and things like that you'll learn from customers way more than you'll learn from anything to do with people that work in a betting shop.
Nah, definitely. I mean, obviously, it's like for you, it's a job. So the things that they train you in is really about how to do the processes and you know, all of that
procedures and stuff like that.
You know, so you're never going to be sitting there going, oh yeah, I know about that horse and what it had for fucking breakfast and
hell no.
You know, all that.
Oh, hell no. Listen, I was like, listen, if I was in your position right now and I'm looking at horses and that, I'm just going by a name. Weird off names. I'm just going to pick the weirdest name or the name that appeals to me the most, and then I'm just going to pick that name. And I know that's not really how there's certain people you can't bet like that. And I was like, bruv, I don't bet. I'm saying this hypothetically. I don't bet, bruv. I don't want to bet. You know what I mean? I'd rather just watch you bet and sit here and earn money. Why would I want to come into a place like this and lose money when I can come into a place like this and earn it? So I'd rather earn it.
Oh no, that's that, mate. It's like it's one of those things. It's like you're there to make money, not to give it away. But you must see, like, obviously a lot more than me. Like, where it's people are just like they want to get a reward for no work.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
I fully hear that. I fully hear what you're saying there. Like, definitely. It's like, I see that in when they start chasing. Like, because there's a lot of people that come into the shop that I work in and they chase a lot. Like, and when I mean chase, they'll chase, bro, for hours and hours and hours. They'll spend thousands. And I'm like, why are you spending thousands for a £500 jackpot?
Yeah, it's crazy, that shit, and it's as if they just keep going because they think, oh, very soon I'll get the jackpot, very soon I'll get the jackpot, and that's how I've seen it a lot myself, like that shit. It's mad.
So, because my main thing is when everyone goes like, oh, so what is it to you? Obviously, I have had the question thrown at me, yeah, like, obviously you've worked in it for years and years, and you've worked in the betting industry, because I've worked for more than one betting company, yeah, and they've gone like, oh, like you've worked in for years. What's it to you? Like, what's this whole thing to you right now? And I go like that, bruv. All these different betting companies are banks, and they were like, no, they're not. I was like, yes, they are, because you will come in with some money, and it's not even a bank really. It's more like them loan places. Really, because you'll come in with some money and you'll either put it on a horse or put it on a dog, or you'll put it in an SSBT machine for football or other things, or you'll put it in an FOBT machine to play slots or roulette, you know what I mean? And then you'll win some money. Yeah, and you'll go, oh, I won some money. You might, that day you might have put in £100 and you won £1,000. And you'll think, what? £1,000, I'm nice for the day. You might take that £1,000 and walk out the shop and spend £200-300 of it over the course of a day. I guarantee you that other £700 you're bringing back into the shop and spending it.
Yeah.
All you're doing is loaning money from us.
Mate, that's the worst thing as well about it, is that people, they get a win and they just think, oh, that's easy, so I'm going to keep going, and then they just start losing and losing and losing.
Exactly.
I mean,
when you start losing, you become...
The house always wins.
So you see what I'm saying? You start chasing when you start losing. And then the chasing I feel, I'm not saying it is, because I know there's some people that will say different, but I feel from what I see, when it comes to machines anyway, when it comes to them FOBT machines, it's one of them things that once you start chasing and you're losing, that's when it starts to turn into an addiction.
Oh, 100%, mate. Like that, no, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't even just say that though, like, because I've done a lot of gambling night, but like, see for me, like, you get a buzz out of gambling night, but you don't get a buzz out of winning really that much. Like, the buzz you get is every bet is that split second before you find out if you're going to win or lose. Yeah, when the adrenaline's pumping. Yeah. You know, and it's like fucking, because I mean, I used to go to the casino, like, and I'm talking fucking 20 odd years ago.
Right, don't worry, all they've done is got more efficient with what they do now.
Oh yeah, fucking without a doubt. Without a doubt, but I mean, I remember that thing where I used to play roulette a lot, and like, and it wouldn't, like, sometimes I could go home fucking lost shitloads, or I've won shitloads, and it would make no difference. But I always remember the thing of, it was that just sitting at that table, waiting on that ball to drop, and you're that fucking adrenaline rush.
Your heart starts going. Once it slows down and starts bobbling, your heart starts fluttering. You're like, oh my god, where's it gonna land? Where's it gonna land? You see what I'm saying? Livelounge, and then like once it lands, then you'll either get an ultimate high, where some people call it going like in crypto, going to the moon. You know what I mean? Or you'll get the ultimate crash, and then that's what turns shit into a problem when you get that ultimate crash.
I mean, like, I could be wrong in this, but I'm fairly certain that, like, gambling's like against the Quran. I'm fairly certain that it's in the Bible it says not to gamble. Like, if all these fucking things that are thousands of years old basically telling their people don't fucking gamble, like, there's a reason for that. Yeah.
People didn't gamble before. People must have gambled to find out they shouldn't. It's as simple as that. If you're someone of significance, and you put something in there like you should not gamble, you know what I mean? Gambling is forbidden, or you shouldn't be gambling. Gambling is bad. You know what I mean? It obviously means you must have either tried that or done that to know that it's bad. Otherwise, how do you know it's bad?
Too true, man. Too true. How you doing, Livelounge?
Yeah, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, thanks. So can you all hear me all right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Can hear you loud and clear, bro.
Yeah. So all good. Hope you guys are good.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, it's been a while, but I'm here now.
Yeah, wicked. Like, I know we've missed you still. You know what I mean? Still us, man. It was a good space, man, but we missed you.
How was it?
No,
okay.
It was a decent space. Even Gaspanic was like, I wish Livelounge was here. Like,
yeah, because then he just turned into a right-wing talking shop.
It was a fucking echo chamber, man. At one point I had to do an impression of you just to rock the
Oh, but like, so how are you, bro? How you been though? You been
Yeah,
good?
yeah, all good. I'm still alive. I'm here. The mere fact that I'm here on the other end of the, I'm on the platform, then that means I must be doing something right. Yeah,
wicked.
good.
That's a good look, bro.
Yeah, you lot talking about gambling and how it's an evil sin.
No, so what it is, yeah, is obviously, he asked me what I've done for my 9 to 5, innit? Yeah, so I've let him know I'm an assistant manager of a betting shop. Like, you see what I'm saying? And obviously, just go on to the subject of gambling and obviously how gambling can affect you, basically. You know what I mean? And how psychological gambling has become now. Cause obviously where I work there, I have to learn certain things, innit? I can't obviously spray them out on the internet, but I have to learn certain stuff. And so I know how psychological gambling actually is now. Like, you know what I mean? I know the absolute tiny little intricacies that can stop someone that's never gambled before and make them and turn them into an addict. Really. Like, you see what I'm saying? And obviously we're just speaking about certain things that obviously that's happened, like throughout my time there, because as I said to Gaspanic, there was one time, this was like a year in, so I'm talking like 2016, you know what I mean? Maybe late 2016, early 2017, you know what I mean? And we're talking just before my first heart attack, maybe. I must have been working in a shop, and a woman walked into a shop, and her husband was in the shop playing the machines, and she's tapped him on the shoulder, and he's turned around and seen her and gone, "What do you want?" Yeah, and she's gone, "I want a divorce," and walked out.
Yeah, well, it's a drug, isn't it? It's an addiction.
Yeah.
And I've known people. I mean, as I said, I wasn't someone who was had an addictive nature. However, I have lost all my wages in one session. Do you know what I'm saying?
It can happen, bruv. It can easily happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, but you have to realise that what they put together is precisely to achieve you putting in as much money as possible. And you can't beat the system. It's just one of those things, you know what I'm saying? Because the machine always wins.
Yeah, so it's like the casino. The house always wins. Always.
Yes, the house always wins.
I mean? Always
it has to. It's the law of averages. It's what you do when it's set up that it will pay out only a certain amount and only at certain times once it's filled up, and then it's statistically will always make a profit for the house.
I'll give one bit of info. So this is going to sound a bit mad, yeah, but every 5 million spin, you get a major payout. A major payout.
Yeah, because that's statistics.
It's like 5 million. So like 5 million spins, people don't understand that. Like, they think they know, like, because obviously they've seen certain things on the screen, and they think, I know what's happening with the game now. You don't. You're just memorizing each screen that pops up. That's all you're doing, memorizing stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And even then, at times, they change. I know they do. It will obviously change. It might not be what you expect it to be. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, so they don't realise that.
Fucking
when it comes to
hypnotic.
You don't know when that's reaching.
It's literally hypnotic, you know, and they design it that way.
Yeah,
like, it's fucking. Do you know what I think is mad though?
The way the lights are. So, like the lights on machines, even the SSBT machines, even the machines that you play football on, that you put football bets on, yeah, there's certain lights, and they're put on a certain part of the machine, and they light up in a certain way. Yeah, as I said, like, someone that I've seen it with my own eyes, someone that's never gambled before, never. They've walked past the shop, they've walked back, they've looked at the machine, all of a sudden they want to put a tenner in the machine. Before they know it, they've lost £400, £500. Then they're back tomorrow to try and get that back. Nick, how are you doing? Welcome. Hope you enjoy the conversation. But yeah, they're already, and that's literally, they put lights in certain parts and they make sure it lights in a certain way just to get you. You know what I mean? Literally corner of the eye stuff. You know, one of them ones. Not even that you're looking straight at it. It catches your eye. You see what I'm saying?
Hey. See, when you think about it, like, obviously the house always wins, but they must win a fucking lot, because it's like, you think, a betting shop, right, you've got to pay for the property, you've got to pay for the electricity, you've got to pay for fucking all the wages, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things they've got to pay out, and then they've still got fucking profits. So how successful is gambling, man? Like, why the fuck have I not got my own betting shop?
I'll say this now, because it's very hard to get into that business, to be honest. Yeah, like, but I'll say this, without mentioning my actual big boss's name. Yeah, my big boss is worth 11 billion. That's, you know what I mean? They make billions, the owners of betting companies. Billions. Think about it like this, yeah? Just online alone, yeah, there was a woman, yeah, that, I can't remember her name, like, for the life of me, because it was big news in like the betting world, innit? Like, so we got to hear about it and all sorts. Yeah, but there was this woman, 1 year, she earned 365 million just off bonuses for the year.
Yeah, dude, that was, I can't remember her name either, but the Irish woman,
she basically Bet 365.
Yes, she was, like, what she did was she just decided, she's like, I don't need to have betting shops, I'll just do everything online, and fucking that's how she made so much in the 1 year. And it's
and she done something, yeah, that, sorry, one sec. Excuse me. She done something that the rest of the online companies followed suit with. Yeah, in the end, other betting companies themselves, 2 particular betting companies themselves done it as well. And they started merging. They started merging with actual betting companies. So you'll have like, for example, Paddy Power, they merged with Betfair. So like when you're getting certain bonuses on Paddy Power, you'll get them on Betfair as well. So the things you'll get in the shop, you'll get online. Sometimes you'll get better things online than you will get in a shop. Because they want you to sit at home all day and spend money then, innit?
Of course, but remember, if you're an addict, and once it's got you, their profits have increased exponentially since online betting has come up, because you don't need to go into a betting shop now.
I'll let you know now, the 40% thing, yeah, on online betting, that's hurt everyone in the betting. That's hurt all them owners in the betting industry. They are not happy about that. It's hurt them. Like, I can say that now because every betting company, even our one, yeah, like, we all got a letter from the CEO, yeah, after that was actually brought out, after the budget was brought out, yeah, saying that major changes are going to have to happen. We already know, yeah, that about 500 shops have been closed.
Yeah, but it's always going to go that way, because remember, betting shops were always in areas of low economic.
Well, not anymore, mate.
They don't. Well, you're not going to go to posh areas and see a betting shop, are you?
Not anymore. They are in posh areas, bro. I can tell you that right now. I've worked in shops in posh areas.
Okay.
Like there's a shop right in the middle of the city. Right in the middle of the city, and that shop makes so much money, bruv. You think that these people that are in posh areas don't bet? Bruv, they bet more than the people with low income does.
Yeah, okay.
It's ridiculous.
It's another one of these things that's just a racket. It's basically taking like money from the masses and giving it to the fucking super rich. Like, it's a crazy thing. And to me, do you know what I think it's exactly the same as smoking? You know, they know it's bad for us, but they let us do it, because every time anyone says anything about fucking putting a ban on it, you'll have some fucking freedom fucking fighters coming out going, I have the right to smoke to give myself cancer and die. And it's the same argument.
For virtually everything now.
Yeah.
Virtually everything now, man, that's starting to happen. If someone's looking to do something, don't get me wrong, if it's something that you know that it's gonna suppress everyone, yeah, then cool, open your mouth and say something. I do believe that. But like, some of the things that people are shouting about, like, for example, if they were to shout about smoking, I'd say stop it, because the person that's shouting the person that's shouting is mostly been smoking and thinks, right, I'm gonna try and take a deep, I'm gonna try and stop. And then what if they have stopped? You know what I mean? You're going to go and shout, well, I don't need to hear it. These people are just going to be shouting for nothing. They shout for anything that they think that is not going to go for them, to be honest.
Yeah, but smoking is bad for you. So, what it is people want the right to
do what they want.
To do what they want, which whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But obviously, it wouldn't be right if they didn't let you know of the dangers about what you're doing. However, I don't know what percentage it stops.
I'll always say that. Make sure people know the dangers. You've got to know the dangers of things. But then after you know the dangers, it's on you if you still want to do it or not.
Yeah, but at the same time, lads, man, we've all been in that situation. It's like fucking someone tells me smoking's bad. What's the first thing I think? Smoking. I need a smoke.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same with gambling. It's like, oh, gambling's bad. And you're going, oh, fuck, I think I'll have a gamble. You know, talk about fucking elephant in the room, man. Like, definitely.
No, I hear that.
Yeah,
I just feel like when it comes to that, yeah, like say for example, when we're talking about smoking, like I was told, yeah, from young, not even about smoking, just about other things also, you know what I mean? But if you enjoy something, when you stop enjoying it, you'll stop doing it. Like it will just happen. Like I don't enjoy this no more. I'm not going to do it no more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I did that at the age of 16, 17 when I left school. I started smoking from the age of 11.
I watched my dad do it. Like, my dad smoked for 37 years. Like, he smoked for years and years and years. And one day, yeah, like, he woke up and he went, I don't even want to smoke no more, man. I'm done with it. And he never touched a fag since. And I was like, rah! Like, when I spoke to him, I was like, how did you do that? Honestly, how did you do that? He was like, when you stop enjoying something, you'll stop doing it. That's all he said to me. And now I fully understand what you meant. Because at that time I was a stupid one, innit, on road all the time. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, whatever, dad, alright, cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about my business. But now I understand it. Like, you know, like when I don't want to do something no more, when I'm like, no, I'm done with this, man, I'm done. Like, it's the natural reaction.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with me with drinking. Like, I've never had an alcohol problem, you know, but I used to love going out for a drink, having a laugh, whatever, and I got to a point where I was drinking and I'm going, I'm not fucking having fun here. And so I just stopped. It wasn't like any major conscious choice either. It was just the fact I was like, I'm not enjoying this. Fuck, I'm not doing it anymore. You know, like I was...
Yeah, it's exactly that, man.
Yeah, well, I think I used to be a conservative smoker when I did smoke after leaving school.
Yeah.
I used to be like a social smoker. Do you know what I'm saying?
It was more around people when you was on your road and that, or when you was in the yard just chilling and that, you'd rather not do it. But when you was around the people, them and everyone's doing it, you know what? No, I'll have one or two. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and he was drinking, and he was the same with drinking. So smoking and drinking was done in a social circle. Do you know what I'm saying? When I'm out with the guys or whatever, I never used to wake up in the morning, roll over and roll a fag or spark up a cigarette. Do you know what I'm saying? Or have a drink, because it didn't appeal to me. However, when you're out with the lads, you're not going to stand there and not have a drink and not have a smoke. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know what we were smoking anyway. So it's like,
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So,
I hear that, man.
Then I just said, after a certain age, I stopped smoking cigarettes, but then I did obviously smoke a spliff for years after that, but it wasn't, once again, it was only social smoking. I never rolled up a spliff at home.
Like, I'm sitting there watching TV, I could do a spliff, you know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It weren't nothing like that.
Those are the dangers, me.
See, when it comes to weed, like, when I used to fucking, one of those every fucking day, it was like, probably, I don't know if you can call it an addiction, but just every fucking day. But I got to a point, because I like being high, you know, like, but what I've managed to do now is that, like if I get weed, I'm a glutton. That's my problem with life. I'm a glutton.
Once you have one, it becomes moreish and you have to have more of it.
Well, it's just the fact, if I've got an ounce sitting in front of me, then that ounce is getting finished, chain smoking the shit. But, you know, but what I've managed to do now is that, like, if I get, like, whether it's a half ounce, an ounce, whatever, and then the closer I'm getting to finishing it, the faster I finish it, because my brain's literally saying, just get this shit out of the way so that you can come back to fucking real life for a while. And then I'll go maybe 3-4 months without it. I mean, I've not had any for about fucking 3-4 months. I'm due to get a bag, but but that's the thing though, is it like, because I know also, is it like, if I've not had any for a few months, that first joint, I'm fucking absolutely sparkled. You know, absolutely wasted.
Because you detoxed yourself for that amount of time, it's like, boom, like, it's like your body's fresh. And as soon as you're like, oh my days, what is this? Like, what is this stuff? Oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? And the stuff might be like, maybe substandard, but it won't be to you because you ain't had it in so long.
just some average weed, and it gets me sparkled, and then, like, but it's like, that first joint will do that, then the second joint, I'm back to what it always was, and then it's just, like, a light stone, and you're just chain smoking it till it's gone, and then another 3 months passes, and you go, right, fuck, I need a joint.
See, I think that is one sort of flaw of when it comes to smoking weed, innit? Like, the first zoot that you have, all of a sudden it gives you, like, you get that particular high, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? I've never been like this before. This is great. This is absolutely excellent. I feel wicked right now. You will never get that feeling again. That's what I think when you smoke weed, I think slightly, not fully, but there's a low-key aspect of it of you are slightly chasing that very first high you ever got.
And it also depends on as well whether you have a susceptibility to the bad side of it. You know what I mean? If you could have an addictive nature, you could have a gene that will. You could do, that's the psychological side of it. There's the cancer side of it. Do you know what I'm saying? There's all sorts, and as I said, some people can smoke 20, 30 a day until they're 90, and it doesn't affect them. And some people can have a few spliffs, and then they go over the
top, mate.
Over the edge,
they hit a dark room and they can't get out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it affects different people in different ways. When I used to smoke it used to slow me down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Other people it used to speed them up. Do you know what I'm saying? And they get hyped.
I used to have one and play football on it. I'm like, I could go 90 minutes right now and go get the man and go and kick a game of football.
Yeah,
that's me.
I was the opposite.
Obviously, you'll know, years ago, it wasn't always weed, it was mostly hash, especially here in Scotland, it was hash. Yeah. So, I would smoke hash, right, and it would make me melt into the sofa, right, and then hash just disappeared. I can't remember the last time I seen any, right, and so when I started smoking weed, and I'm a chef, so you're doing a fucking good, at least 12 hours in a kitchen, knocking your cunt in. Then I'd get home, I'd get home, I'd smoke a joint of weed, and it would make me want to do shit. And you're like, come on, fuck here, man. Like, I need to rest, and like, the joint would make me want to fucking get up and do stuff.
I could do this right now. Let me just sort out the yard quickly. I know. Like, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. But this is what it is, man. Like, as you said, it's one of them things that it's an addiction. Like, you know what I mean? It's something that you do have to, I feel like you do have to watch, because if you don't watch it, it will overtake you, man.
It's just like, as I said, gambling's an addiction, and you get is it an endomorphin hit or something, or endorphin hit? Yeah. So some people need that in their life, which is, we're all susceptible to something.
No, I understand that. I fully get that.
Sex, drugs, or rock and roll.
When it comes to gambling, I think there can be something else. Gambling is mad. Like, as I said, you can lose your wages. You can, like, there's people I've seen people, like, they've lost money and flipped out. As I said, I think as I said to Gaspanic, like, someone lost £8, bro. £8. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. They flipped out so much. They punched up the machine, they were shaking it, they were rocking it back and forth, they were doing so much madness. Yeah.
Well, that's the straw that broke the camel's back, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And then, and that's the thing. Again, one more thing as well regarding the thing, yeah. I said this to Gaspanic as well, and I just got something whispered in it as well. Like, why is it, like, I understand it's an addiction, but I still don't get, to this day, why people would spend thousands, thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And I've asked this question to people, like, why are you spending so much money just for a £500 jackpot? Like, I know someone, I know someone that knows someone else, you know what I mean? And they spent like 100 and something, I think £180, something like that, for a £25 jackpot.
There you go. They're gone then, aren't they? They're gone.
It's madness. Like, it is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And again, I see this, like, daily. Like, they're sitting there. There's another customer that usually comes in. Joey, we saying, bro? There's another customer that usually comes in, and he'll sit there. And don't get me wrong, sometimes he'll come in and he'll win. yeah, he'll win big. He'll give me the ticket, and the ticket all says like $3.5 grand on it. Like, you see what I'm saying? I have to phone around other shops to see if they've got money sometimes when he wins. You know what I mean? And I've got another customer, we actually call him Lucky Man, because he's never walked out without money. He's never walked out and lost.
Oh wow. Beat the system.
Never. Like, and don't get me wrong, yeah, like, do I think, yeah, that winning the lottery helps? Yeah, of course. Like, like, I think that helps, you know what I mean? But at the same time, how much money are you losing to win the amount of money you're walking out with?
No, there are ways to win, but what it is that one person who's winning is taking the money of the losers, of the 100 losers. Do you know what I'm saying? They put money. What it is say there's 100 losers and one winner.
Yeah.
100 losers will say 50% or 40% of what they win goes to that one person, and then the rest goes.
I'm listening. I just got to quickly do something quickly.
And then the rest will go to that's the 60% will go to the house. So it's just like a business. It's just figures. All it is that one person will take off. Out of 100 people, one person will take some money, or 40% of what's being won, and the other 60% will go to the house. And that's how it is. It's a bit like insurance. You know what I mean? We all pay into insurance, car insurance, house insurance, whatever. And the percentage of people that actually claim and the amount that they claim will be minuscule to the amount of people that have paid their premiums. And at the end of the day, all those people who've paid their premium go to the insurer, and the percentage that claim, because it's all figures, it's all, once you do the calculations, laws of probability, that this percentage will always will claim, and their average claim will only be this, but this compared to the actual premium of everyone else who's paying will be this percentage, and then that's it.
Livelounge, like, you make a great point there, because see, obviously these days we always hear about algorithms for social media stuff. Like,
yes,
that's what the fucking insurance companies have been doing for a long time, is algorithms, so that no matter what, they've got their profit, and that's just how that's how, like, every year if you hear, oh, the insurance premiums are going up, that's because their algorithms basically told them that every motherfucker needs to pay a little bit more so that we can get our 30% profit.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. They've been using algorithms for years. You're right. Yeah. And they can't lose. And I've had a mate who took out car insurance and he crashed it. I think it was the first or second day on the insurance, and they wouldn't pay him. They said the probability is that it's a scam. You couldn't have, you might have crashed your car the day before and then took out the insurance the day after, and there's a high chance of that happening, so we're not paying you.
Oh wow.
But then, I just need to apologise on behalf of my country, because I know my country has invented almost fucking everything in the world, right? But we also invented insurance. Sorry.
Well, we accept your apology. Joey, how are you, bro?
Yeah, what are you saying, guys, man? Yeah, just listening in. Interesting conversation.
Yeah, man. This on the gambling subject. What's your thoughts on gambling, bro?
I mean, nothing really. I mean,
have you gambled? Do you gamble?
No, but the time I did first gamble, I won something, and I almost got a bit addicted to it because of that. Then when I started losing more, I thought, no, forget this. And the first gamble I did was the first Anthony Joshua and Ruiz fight. I betted on Ruiz because I thought he was a better fighter, because I saw his past fights. So I thought, yes, I'm gambling on Ruiz. And I remember I was in the betting shop and everyone was laughing at me, and I was thinking, right, you watch. And then I won in it, and then I got so gassed after that.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
That's how they get everybody. Yeah, so it's generally the first time you do it. I mean, I remember the first time I went to a casino, and I was a student, so I went in with like 50 quid, and I came out with like a few hundred, and I thought, oh, I'm a fucking gambling genius, just cause I won. And that's how they get everybody. You always start off with a winner, and you think you're fucking God, and then before you know it, you're dirt poor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true, man.
We all think we can beat the system, don't we? We all think we've got something that they haven't thought of, and we can. We know we've cracked the system. You haven't cracked nothing, because it will get their money back eventually.
Of course.
Oh, guys, right, see before we get into all the usual topics, right, I want to tell you this, right, so there's this Australian guy that I speak to on this platform, right, and he's a fucking intelligent motherfucker. He has some job where a big company literally pays him to go down rabbit holes, and so this guy does fucking crazy amounts of research, right? And I was talking to him the other day, and he was telling me, like, so you know how obviously the things that, like, the popular culture complaints, you know, like immigration or fucking transgender or all of these things, right?
Yeah.
Right, so everything that everyone is arguing about, this guy was telling me that it's all deliberate. The plans have been made. The plans are getting followed through exactly. The guy had evidence to all of it, like going down rabbit holes of like mad fucking things coming from like you know how like when they make laws they'll have a name for a law. Well, this guy was saying that they have a lot of laws where the law will be called E.6429A-F49, right? And so it's confusing as shit. And then you look into that and it will have a subsection that will be called C962485 and like all of these things. And this guy, and he was fucking, I never read them. I trusted him on it because it was like he's researched it and he was just saying all these fucking plans have been made all around the fucking world. So all the shit that we see everything that you and me argue about Livelounge, that's fucking pointless because they've already made the decisions.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that.
Fuck, you know, that's crazy. What you saying, Jerry? What were you going to say, bro?
Yeah, no, I agree with Gaspanic because actually it's interesting that he actually mentioned that because I mean I've known this for several months now, but I was actually reading on it recently. But you see Steve Bannon, the guy who is the strategist for Donald Trump and the MAGA movement,
the guy that interviewed Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all come out now, and people are watching it.
He's the puppet master.
He was actually working with Epstein, and when you look at the emails, Epstein was working with Bannon on the populist right movement, and Epstein. It's funny, Epstein was actually aware of Tommy Robinson, so I thought that was interesting how Steve Bannon and Epstein several years ago were talking about the rise of the right, and like Gaspanic said, it's almost like there's been a sort of manufactured war between two sides, and
it's kind of scary. Mad as well.
Scary, yeah, man. And I thought,
mad as well. So you know, like obviously, me and Jay went down to catch footage of the 30th of September.
Yeah.
Who was not on the stage speaking? Not Steve Bannon. Do you remember we said there was some guy that was on there, and he was taking up time? Everyone was talking for 3-4 minutes. He talked for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
Yeah. That was Steve Bannon that talked for about 20 minutes.
Is that the Unite the People thing?
No, so the Unite. Yeah, that was the Unite the Kingdom thing.
Unite the Kingdom. Okay, with Tommy 10 names.
The Free Speech Festival thing.
Yeah, it's Masters of Free Speech Festival, but you know, it's there's things happening behind the scenes which is completely not that. But that's just that's just to keep the people coming there, keep them happy. But it's nothing to do with free speech. But anyway.
I mean, one thing I want to say.
Either way, Livelounge, they want you and me to hate each other, but I love you, brother.
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest. You know, when I've been finding out all these things, I'll be honest, it does provide reassurance to myself because even though I have my views, I still share similar views to Livelounge. And to be fair, man, like after realizing all of this, it kind of reassures you not to always get too emotional about certain things because someone up there is trying to make us angry at each other. You get me? So when you find out all these things, when you connect all the dots, you kind of realize like, what's the point of getting emotional? Do you know what I mean? Maybe they want us to get peed off. Do you know what I mean? And they're manufacturing all of this on purpose to get us peed off. So yeah.
I'm sure I read somewhere as well that Steve Bannon said to Nigel Farage, you know, this was years ago. He says, brother, Brexit is just the start. And that was all, this is all planned. It's all been in the offing from Brexit days. Do you know what I'm saying? To divide Europe, weaken Europe, and then obviously they've got their plans to do with it, and then just create a new world order, and where this super elite remain elite and remain in control. So, and obviously you get all the peasants well below you who are all fighting each other, running around, accusing each other of taking the limited resources, whilst you scoop up all the resources and share it between themselves, and us, we're down at the bottom fighting for all the crumbs. And we all think that we all need somebody to point the finger at. So, and obviously, I think that's what we do on this platform. It's not me, it's you lot. You lot don't know what you're talking about.
No, I hear that. Joey, what you saying, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to quickly add as well. I mean, I watched it was a quick snippet of an interview from The Economist to Steve Bannon, and someone mentioned to him, why do you always keep referring to war a lot? And like, when he's talking, like, you can see it's almost like he is trying to increase certain rhetorics for a particular reason. And it's like he was almost talking about a sort of insurrection. And I think even in that Unite the Kingdom protest you went to, Dot, I think he was saying the same sort of stuff. Like, about some sort of insurrection, or how there has to be some sort of civil war. But he kind of, when he talks about civil war, it's almost like he tones it down by mentioning that people will just rise up anyway. As in, like, it's just like it's like he's normalizing it.
Here's the thing though, he was normalizing it, and there was a point where he was bringing out all these different flags, like, of all different things, of the EU, of different countries and all sorts, and he was like aggressively chopping him in half. Like, to the extent where, I'm not gonna lie, me and Jay looked at each other, was like, what's this guy doing? Like, what's this about? Like, we did look at each other and go, what's this about? What? He's been on the stage for like 20 minutes. What I've gone through, you know what I mean? And that's when I was like, hold on, is that not Steve Bannon? Yeah, like, and that's when I realised it was him.
Mad. So he's a dodgy character then. He's a dodgy. Come on. Like, I do believe that man can be a bit nefarious, or he knows maybe he's connected to some nefarious people. Maybe.
Here's the thing though, like, man, he's just the front face for the hidden people. But you know what I mean? Anyone that's speaking the message for the elites, they're just a little bitch to the elites. You know, the front face of it, and the elites are in the background rubbing their hands together, stroking their cat, and going, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Evil. Some Dr. Evil. Like, man. Some crazy shit, man. Crazy shit.
So now we can all eat chocolate together now.
Yeah, man. Straight up, bro.
Right, let's get into something, bro.
Yeah, man. I was just about to say that. Should we get into something? Right, let's get into some Realmtalk quick, innit? Like, I don't know what Rachel Reeves is doing, but we're about to find out. Rachel Reeves is risking a holy war by taxing churches. The cash-hungry Chancellor has decreed the religious hubs will be forced to cover the VAT bills for their upkeep for the first time in 20 years. A fund which offered grants for listed buildings is to be scrapped in March, leaving worshippers to foot the bill. Heritage groups describe the move as an outrage which would put some of the country's most ancient sites at risk of ruin and prompt sweeping closures. Nearly half of Grade 1 listed buildings in the country belong to the Church of England. Their upkeep is paid for almost entirely by individual congregations. 1 second. Here we go. For 2 decades, the listed places of worship scheme have offered grants allowing churches and other holy venues with such status to claim back VAT on repairs. Labour has said a 92 million pot will be introduced for a 4-year period, which will replace the previous funding support when it closes on March the 31st. But campaigners have warned it's nowhere near enough, with repair costs totaling around 150 million for parish churches. With VAT at 20%, the tax bill over 4 years is likely to be at least 120 million. Sir Philip Ruttam, chairman of the National Churches Trust, said he was very concerned about the scrapping of the old grant scheme. Museums and galleries offering free admission don't have to pay VAT on repairs, but in future churches will, he said. We will call on the government to end this unfairness and not to expect local volunteers to pay these extra taxes. Lastly, Sir Michael Fabricant, ex-Tory MP for Lichfield, Staffordshire, wrote, this will be a real burden on our ancient monuments where stonework is constantly having to be repaired, like Lichfield Cathedral. Brit historian Robert Lyman said a small group of parishioners was responsible for looking after his local 1,000-year-old church, but he fears they raised the 70,000, if they raised the 70,000 needed to refurbish it this year, they will have to find an extra 14,000 for the tax man. This is frankly an outrage. What's your thought on them? It sounds like they scrapped this. Church is going to have to close. That seems a little bit convenient. A little bit. What's your thoughts, peeps?
In the church sector, the religious sector, is a declining industry everywhere, because it is an industry at the end of the day, based on people's religious beliefs. Do you know what I'm saying? So the Church of England and not necessarily the Catholic Church, but the churches that are in the UK have long been on a steep decline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do what the same percentage of people don't always go to church anymore. So it's a bit difficult to have to upkeep the maintenance of churches to get them to expand. When people coming from certain parts of the world who now come to live here, they are more religious than percentage-wise than the people of the country. So and even people coming from certain areas, different areas of the world, where Islam is strong in those countries. That's why there's a rise of mosques and a decline of churches. Then this could obviously be twisted to say that, their religion is now taking over the country for the simple reason that there are more mosques being built than there are churches. But it's just a natural way of things that if the people of the country don't really see the importance of Christianity in their life, and the people who are coming into the country are more religious based with other religions, then it's going to look and feel like the expansion of Islam and the decline of Christianity. That's just the people are the people. Is
that not what it is?
But it's not deliberate. It's just it is because it's people. It's led by people who are not attending churches anymore. If you see what I'm saying, because if all churches were full every week and everyone was making a donation, then you would expand churches, build new churches, and the government would also grant planning to build more churches and fund churches. But it's just not as important, because remember back in the day. I mean, I remember back in the day when the Sunday trading was a bit of an issue, because it was like supposed to be a holy day, and then now Sunday is just a day for extra shopping. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, I think it's just the way of the world, the way of the country is. It's not a deliberate direction of trying to marginalize or reduce Christianity, but it's a case of, if there is I don't know whether there is more mosques in the country than there are churches, but obviously if people have a religion and they probably pay out of their own pockets from the community for mosques, and mosques are probably quite full because they're very stringent about praying 5 times a day or going to the mosque every Friday, that type of thing. So they're going to be supported, aren't they? The mosques themselves are going to be supported by that community.
Okay. Gaspanic, what you saying, bro?
I pretty much agree with everything Livelounge is saying there. Like, fucking, as long as the government isn't discriminating between religions, and there's a possibility that they are doing that because they're dodgy bastards in government, but really, like, if you're a Muslim, then, like, and all the Muslims want to chip together to fucking make a mosque, then fucking, like, more power to them, that's their shit. And it's like Christians, like, why the fuck is my tax money going towards Christians? Like, whether I'm a Christian or not, it's like there's plenty of people that are not Christian, so why should the taxpayer money fund these people? If they want their religion, then they fund it themselves. I mean, here's the best way to look at this, right? And I'm not anymore, but I used to be a Rangers supporter, right? Right, so people treat their sport as a fucking religion, right? Does that mean that the government should be funding the fucking football stadium? Does it fuck? Like, it's a fucking, you know, if you want to support your football team, then you pay money to that team, they build a bigger fucking church, which is their stadium, you know, like, and it's the same with religions, it's the same with fucking everything. Why is taxpayer money going to it? So if the Christians don't want to pay for their churches to be repaired and shit, then why should everyone else pay for it if they don't want to pay for it themselves? You know, it don't make sense. Fucking not at all does it make sense. So, like Livelounge says, like, Muslims are fucking, like, they're pretty devout with their religion. They get involved in it, they do their shit. So, then they pay for their mosques. I mean, then that's it. Like, government shouldn't be paying for mosques, it shouldn't be paying for fucking, I don't know what the Jew one's called, they shouldn't be paying for synagogues, it shouldn't be paying for church, it just shouldn't be paying for shit. You know, like, what the fuck? Like, there's a lot more prescient problems going on, and that, like, the guy that you were saying that was complaining about it, I bet he's a rich motherfucker, I bet he's fucking heavy wealthy, you know, but he wants the taxpayer, which is mostly poor people, paying out their fucking shitty wages. Like, why should the taxpayers be paying for some shit cause some fucking rich English fucking guy that probably has 50 acres of land and a giant mansion, like, has a problem with it? Like, fuck, these rich cunts are like, oh yes, our heritage. Well, fuck you, you want to keep it, you pay for it.
Break your prostate in less than 15 seconds. Sounds ridiculous,
Joey?
right? But that...
Yo.
What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's the Church of England specifically, I mean, I just read it now, and apparently it includes other listed places of worship, not just the churches. It includes the synagogue ones, the mosques. So even those people, members of those religions, are going to have to pay off their pocket as well now. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I guess, I mean, if there is a decline in people attending, especially Church of England churches, then it's going to happen, I guess. I mean, I know maybe the Catholic Church, they still seem to be on the rise, maybe compared to the Church of England. Maybe I think they get their funding from elsewhere, do you know what I mean, internationally as well. So it's just the way things work, innit? Yeah, nothing else really.
The thing is though, Joey, is it like, see, even if like Britain had like fucking, let's say, 40 million people went to church every Sunday, why does the taxpayer need to pay for any shit? It shouldn't matter. It should, well, those 40 million people should be donating and for their religion. You know, it shouldn't be, because the taxpayer is everyone. So that would, like, it would mean that, like, alright, so what, Muslims have got to pay out of their tax to keep churches going? Or Christians have got to pay out of their tax to keep mosques going? Doesn't make sense, man. Fucking, like, people want some shit, they group together, pay for it themselves. That's why I gave the analogy of the football team, because, like, fucking, most people, so everyone's got their own football team. Why would the taxpayer be involved? It shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? Like, people treat their team as a religion, like, fucking much more than they treat God as a fucking religion. Like, but the tax should not be involved in fucking funding sports teams just cause lots of people are in it.
But remember, England is the head of the church, though, isn't it? The royal family is the head of the church, so they have to maintain their the church as part of English British culture. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but mate, here's a great point though, is that fucking when Charles was made king, and he decided this fucking about 10 years before the Queen died, where it's like the Queen was called the defender of the faith, like referring to the Church of England, and Charles said he wanted to be defender of faith, right, which basically means all religions, right? In either fucking way, the royals and Parliament are separate for a reason, because it was like, right, we need democracy, not fucking the monarchy telling us all what to do. So if the royals want to be the head of the Church of fucking England, then dip your hands into your own pocket, fucking King Charles, because you own fucking half the country, all the land, you've got fucking billions, like just crazy wealth. Fuck, man, think even if they sold a couple of fucking paintings, you know, like, it would fix churches. Like, so if he wants to be the leader of the Church of England, dip into your own pocket, Charles, not mine.
No, I hear that. And just quickly, just so some context, the Catholic Church, it says here, that I asked obviously where it gets its funding from, not like obviously money and stuff, but it's actual funding. So obviously there is like their local way of doing things, which is the offertory collections, which they do during mass, you know what I mean, which we know that churches do. They also set special collections like fundraising events, fees, as in like weddings and funerals and sacramental preparations and stuff like so, like holy communions, confirmations, things like that. Then with the Catholic Church, they then get funding from something they call the Holy See, like the Holy SEE, which is basically the Vatican.
Exactly, that's why I said the Catholic Church probably getting way more money than Church of England, because it's headed by the Vatican and we know they've got considerable wealth, so that's why I said the Catholic Church.
Yeah, the Catholic Church donates. There's also Peter's Pence, self-generated revenues, financial investments, income and stuff like so. Tourism related stuff and so so the Catholic Church, they're getting funded by the Vatican.
Yeah, they're maintaining strong. I think it's just the Church of England that is in decline specifically. Yeah.
No, I hear that. Also, Josh, if you want to jump in, just wave your hand, let me know, and I'll bring you in.
Guys, I've got a wicked story for you, right? So the last time I was at church was about 18 months ago. It was a Remembrance Sunday thing, right? And like, I've got a friend that's very religious, so I went there to meet him. I thought, why not go and fucking do the church thing? I've always had the problem. I'm quite a scientific guy, so I've always struggled with the faith question, right? But the last time I was at church, right, fucking the minister told us little fucking Bible parable about Jesus being surrounded by these wealthy people, and there was one desperately poor woman, and she gave her last coin, and Jesus said to all the rich people that laughed at the poor woman for her one coin, they said that, like, all you rich people have only given a little amount of your total wealth, and this woman gave all her wealth. Right, and it's this little parable about saying no matter what you've got, you can give to God, right? And at the fucking same time as that fucking parable, that's when they put the collection fucking basket around, and I was like, fuck you people. It was basically saying, doesn't matter if you're poor, give us your money. And then they put the fucking collection basket round, and I just thought, fuck you, because really, to me, these collection baskets, all that is money to pay the fucking minister a wage. It's not going to the community, it's not going to fuck all, that's who pays their wages.
Okay.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just quickly, Jay, how are you, bro? You did that? Must be busy or in the barber's chair or something.
Yeah, Jay can't hear you because the fucking clippers are on his ear right now.
He's getting that sharp line up, innit, with the sharpest blade in the city, man. Straight up. When you're ready, come jump in, my bro. Yeah, any more thoughts on this?
No.
Joey? Gaspanic?
It was an open and shut case.
Alright. Jay, if you're there. Man can quickly relay. You can have your thoughts.
Well, he's still on his mic's still on mute, isn't it? So
yeah.
I don't know if he knows.
He must still be busy. He must be busy or something. Otherwise, he would have jumped on already. All right. So let's move on to the first topic, innit? So the first topic is this: Angela Rayner will be a big voice in the future, Kier Starmer said, with a promise she'll return to frontline politics at the right point. The Prime Minister praised his former deputy, who was forced to resign over a tax row in September, for helping Labour get elected and her landmark employment right laws. In a three-word vow, Mr. Starmer echoed a comment allegedly made by Miss Rayner to a group of Labour MPs that she is not dead yet. Asked about her remark, the PM said, "I've always said that Angela has not only played a big part in Labour politics, in our country's politics, but has got a big part to play in the future. That's not new. I have said that on the day she stepped down, and I don't doubt that's true. She's certainly not dead yet. She has got a huge contribution to make, and I look forward to her making it." 1 second. Pressed on whether she'll be back around the cabinet table, Mr. Starmer told Times Radio, like by the looks of things, "I would like to have Angela back at the right point. I have always been clear she has a future role to play. She is a fantastic asset for the Labour Party. She has played a huge part in the achievement that we got in the last election, getting elected. We have just passed the Employment Rights Act, which has got her fingerprints all over it." Miss Rayner, who resigned in September after admitting not paying enough stamp duty on her seaside home in Hove, certainly faces a HMRC probe. Allies of the former Housing Secretary have complained that the slow pace of the investigation is pushing back her political comeback. One Rayner ally and Labour MP told HMRC was an inept department that takes forever to make a decision. That's true. Her pal suggested she'll be back no matter the outcome. Either she broke the rules, which means that thousands of other people have accidentally and now owe HMRC, another ally said, or she is innocent, which is even worse. She would have resigned after doing nothing wrong. Miss Rayner is seen by some as a Labour leadership contender if Starmer is forced out. The PM faces a test with voters at the Gorton and Denton by-election later this month, as well as at the May local elections. What is the thoughts on this, people? Angela Rayner may be making a comeback no matter the outcome.
Straight off the fucking bat, mate. Straight off the bat, I've got two main points here. One rule for Lee, another rule for me. These people in power, they don't get fucking convicted of crimes. They get put in the naughty step for a little while until another story takes over, and then eventually they get brought back in. I've seen this time and time again for decades. Politicians being criminals, and they just get put on the sidelines, and then a little while later they're brought back into the fold. Right, that's the first point. The second point is Kier Starmer's basically doing this as a play to ward off leadership contenders. So if he says that kind of shit, it's like trying to get her little power base to be on his side so that they don't vote him out.
No, I hear that. I fully hear that. Just quickly, Livelounge, I'll come to you. Quick question: if he was to step down, is Angela Rayner maybe a candidate for PM?
No, she's not. I don't think she's cut from the right cloth. She's strong. She's a good kind of right-hand woman or a part of the cabinet because she represents the working class, if you see what I'm saying, and the you know, the people in the middle England kind of thing, and Northern England as well. But she doesn't. I don't think she's got the minerals to be right in the hot seat. I think it's so depressing that 70 million people in this country, and these are the people who are from all parties. I mean, and we're talking about people from all parties. These are the people who are in the who control the power, the levers of power, who make the decisions on behalf of all of us. And this is all we can muster up as a country. Are these people who are thieves. Welcome. They're thieves, they're dishonest, they're inadequate. It's just so depressing that we can't find somebody who is a breath of fresh air, who's going to lead the country to down the right road. Because it's just, if it's, as I said, I've always said before.
You still reckon Andy Burnham could have been the person?
Well, yes, because I think he hasn't done it before, and that's always the danger, is that just like before.
The PM, he's got to deal with people like Trump, Xi Jinping, like Netanyahu. They're quite big egos in this sort of political world, right?
No, but they're big egos in the world, on the world stage. At the end of the day, that's the world stage. Which
if he becomes PM, he'll be on.
Yeah, but no. When it comes to world stage, all leaders of all countries can make decisions about where they want to, how they want to align themselves with, and where, how, and when it's going to happen. Now, being a strong leader, does mean. I mean, I always base everything off what the Canadian president. Prime Minister does. He stood up to Trump. He realised the power that he has as a country, that his country has, and how significant they are, and they've stood firm and carried on and done what they've done, and the country is behind it. Now, there are many countries, for a number of nefarious reasons, will not let some bend to kiss the ring with Trump, and some who, because of they are doing things in the background that's going to create that new world order, which will mean that them or their small circle of the elite in that country will literally do well out of this. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're all there, and we're the little people, and we'll always ever be the little people. And as long as this has happened since day dot, that the people in power always construct systems in order to keep themselves in power. If that wasn't the case, then they would soon be out of power. But they always have to create a system in order to keep themselves in power, and that's how this thing works. So whilst we're sitting down here arguing with each other, pointing at who's taking the resources, they are always one step ahead of us, but they need us to vote them in and to keep them in order for them to reap the benefits of our ignorance.
Yeah, Livelounge, wouldn't you agree though that Angela Rayner, she's the perfect example of power corrupts, because that woman for years sat on the Labour backbenches and she championed the things of the poor people, but then she gets into power, power corrupts, she's outed as a criminal, so even the working class person that gets into that position is, she's power hungry and corrupt. Perfect example of it.
Yes, 100%. Because remember when from the time immemorial, these people have come into power and have sold us the dream, and we think that they have to. So that dream is that one of us has got into the position of power, and they're going to look after everyone, and they're going to be fair. Boris Johnson was another one. Do you know what I mean? He was like that bloke who you could have a pint with down the pub, and he's one of us. Even though he's a posh boy, he was still like a normal, regular guy who you could relate to. And it turns out that he came with such a massive majority, and what did he do? He went to his head, and he just took the piss. I thought Starmer was going to be different, but he's totally unprepared. He totally didn't know what he's doing. And I don't believe he's a dictator. I believe he's just trying to cling on to power, and he's just fumbling his way through. And as I said, the next one who people believe is going to be different because he's a man of the people and he's gonna sort things out is Farage. But he isn't, because he's just gonna be, every indication, every red flag is there for this guy to be no different than the rest, but actually be a lot worse than they are. But
this is why, mate. This is why Palooka is an anarchist.
Well, you have to be. I said that, but we all know what the system is. The system is, once they get in, they've got 4 years to completely rape the country of its resources, of its money, and line the pockets of them and their people. And it's just a game.
I don't understand your position though, because in one way you're saying you're knowledgeable that the system doesn't work, and then on the other, in the same sentence, in the same breath, you're saying, "But who can we vote for that will manage these things and be for the people?" How, when they're connected to that same system that is going to fuck you in the end?
Well, what can you do? Because you see, I think out of, say, every 100 leaders, you're going to get maybe 5 out of those 100 leaders who are for the people, who are true charismatic leaders. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of leaders,
the system won't allow for a leader, though. See, you keep calling them leaders; they're not leaders. That's why I'm a monarchist, because you need to have somebody in charge, and who you're talking to. It's like you're going to the bank and then you're yelling at the teller, like, "Why did he fuck you over?" It's not the teller that fucked you over; it's the bank that fucked you over. In the same way, these leaders, they're like tellers. They're not the bank.
Yeah, but they're tellers for who? They're tellers for their party. You mean? For who?
They're always going to be for the bank.
Did you actually just say that you were a monarchist or you're anti-monarchist? Which one?
No, I am a monarchist, because I think you need to have at least the what you get from a monarchy is regicide. You don't get that under democracy or republics. You don't get that option, because they're working for somebody else. Somebody else is leading. It's not the president. It's not the premier or whatever the fuck you guys have, prime minister. It's not them.
Yeah, but monarchy is the absolute opposite of where I think we should be, because a monarchy is something that they believe that the people are there by blood alone. This is true elitism. This is classism.
Shouldn't you be tied to the land? Like, so you could bring in a Chinese guy and just have him run fucking England? You'd be okay with that?
No, not at all. Not at all, a Chinese guy. But what I'm trying to say,
give me a second, I'll get you in.
The difference between monarchy and the republic, is it not? What system do you have over in the US? It's something completely different, isn't it? But what it is?
Oh, yeah, that. What do you call it? Representative fucking republic. I don't even know. It's like it's such bullshit that whatever's on paper, it's not. It ain't it. It's theoretically it's that, but it's not. It's the banks are running shit. The Jews are running things. The Federal Reserve is running things. And then all this other stuff is theater. That's the way I look at it.
But that's what monarchy is. Over here, I don't know whether you know that the monarchy doesn't actually run the country.
You don't have a monarchy. That's my point. You need a monarchy.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say to you, is that a monarchy is all theatre. But they believe that if you're a monarchist, you believe that these people are who by birthright, where they are, they're in the places they are, and they are special people ordained by God to rule over us. And you have a cultish.
That's not.
There's a cultish. It's like a cult. It's like you don't know why these people are special and above you, but they believe they are, and you have to believe they are as well, and you have to worship them. But they don't actually hold any power in the country.
That's not the case, actually. Like, that's not the case.
What's not the case?
The plebs, the retard masses, they will, have that sentiment, right? Like But if you've read any Hoppe, like Hans Hermann Hoppe, like that's what I was going to ask Palooka. Have you read The God That Failed?
No.
Have you read any? It's worth reading. By the way, Hans Hermann Hoppe, still alive. Like he's kind of like you go through the thought process, and he came up with like, yeah, it's actually better to have a monarchy because the monarch has a responsibility to keep the people somewhat fucking taken care of and happy, or they're gonna fucking uprise and his, Louis the 16th, like fucking, it ain't gonna be good for the monarch. So, like, there's always an incentive, right? Anybody that you're gonna give power to, you need to have an incentive structure for them to be responsible with that power.
And they do have an incentive. These politicians have an incentive. They have blackmail on them, right?
Yeah, but so they have no fucking...
The incentive is if you don't work for us, we'll be the ones that kill you, right? It's actually the government killing the politician instead of the people. Well, I don't want to Fed post, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but remember, there's always, for a society to work, it seems that there will always be an elite. That elite can be by money and power, or it can be by, with some countries, by birthright. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and this is what people like Trump admire about the royal family, about certain countries who have a royal family. Because no matter how much money you've earned, whether it by hook or by crook or by legal or illegal means, you cannot become part of an elite family unless you marry into them. So these people are just normal people like us, but apparently they are, they have special blood, or they have royal blood, and that blood.
They're not normal, man. They're not normal people. You can't say they're normal.
They are normal people.
But they are normal people. But they are fucking propped up by dumbasses.
Yes.
Who the fuck watches the goddamn fucking wedding of Harry and fucking Larry or whatever?
Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck what her name is? Who gives a fuck about that shit? Dude, they can go fuck off and do whatever the fuck they want. Why is the British population financing their whole fucking thing? Why are they on the fucking TV with like Princess Diana? Fucking why is she a fucking thing? Who gives a fuck? Get rid of the fucking monarchy and then let's see what happens to your society. Like they're not controlling anything you say.
Yeah, no.
Like, well, get rid of them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Send them off to Germany.
There's about 50 million people who would disagree with you because they're part of the cult.
They're part of, well, fuck them too. Like,
I say it the opposite way. I say give them extreme power, and then once you make them give them extreme power, then you can remove them and put in somebody in their place that would be a great leader, right? That's my opinion.
Okay. No, well, I hear that. Just quickly on Gaspanic before I bring Joey in.
So here's the thing, right? See if you're a monarch, right? That means that, realistically, if you're a monarch, then you shouldn't be taking your own money out of your own country, because why the fuck would you need to if you're the king of that country, right? And this may sound controversial as shit, right? But basically, fucking Hitler's Germany was that idea where German money doesn't leave Germany; it belongs to Germany, right? And that to me is what a monarchy, if you're a monarch, why would you want to be going buying an island off Hawaii or some shit when you've got your own country? So that would mean that even though you're going to be a monarch, you can make yourself as rich as you want, but that money stays in the country. So what good having money if you're not doing anything with it? So a monarch would then like spend money in his own country, and it would filter down to the people. Whereas what we have now is we have all these elites that take money off the poor, and then they take it out of the country, so the country doesn't benefit from it.
No, I definitely hear that. Just quickly before I bring you in, Joey. I always do this to everyone. So like, Brian and obviously Gold. How are you both?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. There. How's everyone else doing?
Wicked. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm okay. I'm good still. I'm good still. Hopefully you're good as well, Brian. Hopefully everything's best with you. Joey, what are we saying, bro? What's your thoughts before I ask Gold? Obviously, from what he's heard of the conversation.
Yeah, interesting discussion. I'm actually kind of siding a little bit with Paluca. I think maybe if we just took the politicians away, we get a monarchy, and all the power is attributed to them. So they make the decisions, and then they don't have to be voted in every 4 years. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So then decisions can get made more efficiently and swifter. So it sounds like a good idea, to be fair. But obviously we don't have many monarchs left across the world, so...
Yeah, but that sounds like a dictatorship, doesn't it?
What?
It is a dictatorship though, Livelounge, but that's the point, is that not all dictatorships are malevolent, and like if you want to be a good monarch, then you be benevolent. You know, because if you're not benevolent, the people will rise up and overthrow you. To me, that's normal, natural order. You know, something's at the top of the hierarchy. And I mean, like, these studies have been done in chimpanzees where it's like you have one chimp that's the leader, and if he's a cunt, then eventually a bunch of other fucking chimps turn up and beat the fuck out of that leader because he's not a good leader.
Yeah, I think as well, like Gaspanic said, I think as well, like, these monarchies, they will provide stability and order, and less changes over time. Things stay the same, do you know what I mean? So there'll be less need for making changes every 4 years. Things will be swifter, more efficient. So I actually agree with Paluca in that level. Like, I don't think all dictatorship. I think for a long time now, maybe dictatorships have been given a bad name, and so has the whole divine right of kings over history. They've been given a bad name over time, but sometimes with the way the world is now, constantly changing, there might be a need now for some stability and order. Do you know what I mean? So maybe monarchies for us will be a good thing. Do you know what I mean?
How sick is that you have to tell your children that you can never rule over the people, even if you are smarter than them, even if you've discovered a brilliant way to run the country and everyone be happy and it be prosperous, you can never step out of your lane. So no.
Livelounge. No. Here's a question. No, Livelounge. I've got a question though, right? So, like, something that I've been, and again, this is shit that you just get in movies and stuff, right? But I think it holds true, where it's like this common thing of people in America will tell their children, you can be president one day. How true is that? Like, really? Like, who can be president? The fucking 350 million Americans. There's no way all of them have the possibility to be president. No fucking way. Doesn't matter how clever you are. Doesn't matter how popular you are. Like, you cannot be president in America unless you're following certain aspect in life. Like, there's some white fucking trailer trash guy that lives in Nevada. Like, is he going to tell his children they can be president? Because if he does, then it's just telling them a fucking dream.
I hear that. Again, just quickly, Gold, from what you've been hearing, question. What's your view on if we just got rid of politicians completely and actually gave extreme power and had an actual monarchy again in this country?
My view is that nobody's talked so far about where the politicians come from and why the politicians exist. I would like to hear people's thoughts on where the politicians come from and why the politicians exist, because all this monarchy talk, where did the politicians come from and why did the politicians exist? Like, do you understand? Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there and I'll throw that in there for now.
Just to see where we're
where we're actually starting at on this, because if you're talking about monarchies, you have to know the history of how we got to politicians in the first place. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you know about society, you realise that power can only sit in the hands of the few. Because if it's just like any committee, you're going to have a committee that makes a decision, make decisions. You know, they all decide and vote on decision of the group or the company or charity or whatever. They make decisions about what to do, what's the way forward, what's the best way forward. So you're always going to have, it's just a natural order of things. They're always going to have power in the hands of the few, because the whole of the country can't make day-to-day decisions, because it takes too long and you're going to have anarchy. So there is always going to be a group or a leader that's going to represent the masses. That's just the old things. That's just how things are done on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis. You cannot have a referendum on every single decision.
Right, here's a question for you again, though, right? Like, I mean, see my country, Scotland. Like, to me, the parallels between that and the slave trade in America, the parallels are massive, right? But basically, Scottish people, the majority of Scottish people were little bitches. They might not have been in chains, but they were little bitches. If they didn't do what they were told, they were kicked off the land. You know, it was horrible. Like the average life expectancy for a Scottish person was less than an American slave, right? The world for poor people has always been a shit place. And when you say that these people are representative of the masses, do you think they actually represent us, or do you think they do what they want and they tell us it's in our own interests?
100%, you're right. Second time around, yes, it's definitely, they control the masses. I don't think they represent the masses, so that's probably...
Yeah, so where's the difference between that system and a monarchy then? Because for me, a monarchy, this is what I said earlier, a monarchy would have its interest only in its own country. It wouldn't be taking its fucking billions of wealth and putting that into the fucking Cayman Islands, because what good is that? Because if you're a monarchy, then it means that all the foreigners are enemies and want to destroy your monarchy, so you would keep the money in your own country, and the only thing you can do with that money is to build your people up. Now, you might not be building them up fucking to be elites and rich, but you're going to keep that money in the country.
But this is phase one of trying to build a cult, and that's what it is. It's a cult, isn't it? How do you build and maintain a cult? And this, the monarchy.
What is the Conservative Party? What is Reform? What is the Labour Party? They're cults. They're ideologies. You know, they're ideologies. It's not a cult.
Do you not believe that most, the masses, not most people, I was going to say, but the masses always need to be led. They need someone to believe in, don't they?
That's why they need a king.
Well, there you go. Whether that's a prime minister, whether that's a CEO, whether that's just an entertainer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Why would you give him a fake king? You know what I'm saying? You're giving him a false fucking leader. He doesn't have absolute power. You're saying, I don't want to be able to say to my kid, you'll never be president or a leader. The president is not a leader. We can agree on that, right? He's not. He doesn't have absolute power.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. You're right. He doesn't.
I ask again, how did we get here? Like, man, I'm talking basic shit like here. Just to say to you, this is so fucking primary school basic. Like, how did we get here? Like, we're talking about like, we should have this or we should have that. Like, there's a multitude of these things that go together, and that's how we got here in the first place. You can't have one without the other. You can't have one absolute. Do you understand? It would never work. Like, that's how we fucking got here. Like, saying that, we should have somebody who has absolute power, or some fucking group of people who have absolute power, is the dumbest fucking shit for the last 400 years, bro. You understand what I'm trying to say? That's how we got here, bro.
Yeah, but
I push back on that and just say, look at North Korea. That guy has absolute power.
Yes, I'll back you up on that, because that's exactly what I was going to say. Most of the countries who have dictators are very stable countries.
Very stable, but then in terms of how you can move in those countries, what levels of freedom do you have in those countries?
But no one cares though, do they? Because these people have
but if you live there, you will care though, bro.
So is Libya better as a democracy or having a dictator?
What I'm saying is that if you have a dictator, that means that yes, they can run the country in a way that is best for the country. You have one person who obviously they're from the country, they're running the country in the best way that they see the country running. Now you have to bear in mind that they could economically, do something fucked, right? Like North Korea is an example of where they've kept a stable economy, right? But if you take Zimbabwe for an example, that's the polar opposite. They decided to be greedy. Do you understand? So what I'm saying to you is that there has to be a balance. No matter how much you add it up, if you have one person, you're gonna have there's no real kind of dictatorships where, let's say, everything's Candyland, fam. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? And if anything, I would actually say probably out of all of those so-called dictatorships, right? I would say Cuba probably has one of the fucking best dictatorships. Do you understand? Because
what about Russia?
The entire economy, Russia as well, but the whole entire economy is good, and the way that the country is generally run is good. People aren't just getting killed for no reason and for stupid laws and whatever. You know what I'm trying to say to you, right? So yeah, Russia's another good example. I'm not saying that that it can't work either way, that you can't have a democracy that works and you can't have a dictatorship that works to a degree on both of them, right? But what I'm saying is how we got here with politicians in the first place was people having this debate for the best part of 1,000 years, bro, or 1,000 years or more, and then, coming to basically the reason why I asked the question before is because where that all came to a head was the Magna Carta. That's how we got the politicians in the first place. Because the politicians are just the representatives of the people versus the barons, who are the bankers in today's day and age, right? And the monarchies, and that was because the monarchies were either getting too greedy and just, stepping all over people in, the example that Livelounge gave, I'm better than you, I'm highborn, whatever, right? They were getting too greedy, so people just started revolting, like what you lot were saying.
But you see that you can actually revolt against it. You can't revolt against a democracy. You can't. It's not possible.
Yeah. But wait. Let me just finish my point, right? So what I'm saying, right, is people started revolting against that, right? The barons, were doing other stuff. What the barons were doing, who are now the bankers, is they were robbing the townfolk and they were robbing the monarchy. They were the people who were, when the monarchs were getting broke, they would borrow gold from the fucking barons, fam, and then get into debt, fam. And that was
Joseph,
madness for the people. Do you understand? So, what happened with the Magna Carta was the agreement between the bankers and the barons, let's say, and the monarchs, right? That they would not do these things, and they will put the politicians there to represent the people. Then the barons started paying the politicians, fam. Do you understand? So the barons now run the fucking world, the bankers, like the financiers, the people who have acquired all the resources, right? They run the fucking world, or anywhere that basically isn't a dictatorship. Do you understand?
Yeah, but dude, see what you're saying there though? Is it what you're saying there is that you're describing something, this democracy, which has been an experiment? Because all of history, democracy wasn't a thing, right?
Democracy's false though. What I'm saying, we're saying that, I'll finish last sentence, right? Like Gaspanic here, but I'm just saying, just even to your point, where we are now, is that we have a false democracy and it's still run by dictators. Do you understand, right? But the dictators, you just don't, you know who they are, but we don't really know who they are because they are the financiers. Do you understand? So they're paying the fucking politicians. In this sense of this country, what they've done is they've set it up so the monarchs also get paid, so they can live, you know, like, and be regal or whatever on the back of the people still. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the people just think it's all a democracy. But it's not. It's really a dictatorship on the back end of a democracy.
Yeah, mate, but it's not even really a dictatorship. It's a cabal of financiers that are holding us hostage. That's what I would describe it as.
That's a natural progression of democracy, no? Like, that's the whole point. That's the natural progression of capitalism, that eventually you go, I could scam my own people and get more money out of it, right? Like that, it's incentivized to make money.
True.
See, I mean, here's a good example, right? Look at China right now. That's a fucking dictatorship. There's no two ways about it. But that's Xi, right? And this is what I mean about like, you need to you can be malevolent or you can be benevolent, right? That's Xi Jinping. He's benevolent to the Chinese people, and that's why he's still in power. While he's doing a good job, they ain't overthrown him. But the second that China starts fucking faltering, whatever, they'll get rid of him. They can get rid of him, you know, but he's still a dictator.
But you know what? You know, he has
to what you said, Paul Luca, as well. So just quickly, Livelounge. To what you said, Paul Luca, just really, really quick. Before what you said, Paul Luca, as well, with the capitalism thing. That's why it's the economy and the way that the economy is run. Yeah, right. That really dictates everything. Do you understand? Right? Because anybody underneath the creators of the economy or the rulers of the economy, yeah, basically is running on the terms of how that economy is run. And in a capitalist economy or capitalist capitalistic economy, system. Yeah, it works in that particular way of that, you know, one person steps on the other to get to where they need to go. That's the basics of how it works, right? But that's like Westerners always argue about this within the confines of it within itself, because Westerners have never been taught other systems of economic management. We've just been taught capitalism 24/7. We're told socialism is totally bad, right? Like, and that communism is totally bad. Yeah. When really and truthfully, there is little bits and pieces of each of these ways of running a society, and they form different types of economic systems, right? So this is why, you know, in the Islamic societies or Muslim world, they have, you know, their Sharia banking, because that is a certain type of way that they run their economy, which helps their particular, you know, society work in a particular way. Yeah, right. Like, then you have like Austrian economics, which is really, from what I've learned about Austrian economics is the best form of economics because it mixes all the types of economics together. Do you understand? Like, and it does it in a way that benefits. There's incentivization for the government. There's incentivization for, you know, people like monarchs or rich people, so to speak. And there's also incentivization for the people. So everything works hand in hand. If one is being a bad actor, yeah, everyone knows and everyone kicks them out. And if one is basically, you know, doing really good, then they obviously increase and people support them more, and the economy supports that group more. So, like, yeah, like, just when I'm saying, when people say, oh, all we've got is capitalism, you're just arguing it within the same system that you're trying to figure out. Like, you have to zoom all the way the fuck out. Like, you get to the face to really see.
Yeah, cool. But what you're saying there is you agree with me then that basically we're being held hostage by these bankers. It's not, they're not dictators.
Yeah, 100%.
They're holding us hostage. So if we had a system that had Austrian economics, then they bankers that are holding us hostage would have to just fuck off somewhere else.
Yeah, 100%. So basically, we're held hostage by the mindset and the fact that if basically, you know, I'm your tenant, Gaspanic, you only accept the capitalistic money and the capitalistic rules. So if I now want to live by a different set of rules, you're not going to accept that money or those rules. So therefore, you know, I'm going to say to me, like, we're never going to get out of that same circle. So I've got to now adopt your rules or your money that you're using, yeah, right, to make sure that you're happy. And if that's part of my paying my rent, then I'm more worried about that than any other thing. So no matter how much I try and change shit, yeah, or convince you, right, that you need to change because it's going to work better for both of us this way, you know, it's never going to change, because at the end of the month, I've always got to pay my fucking rent. And I've got to pay my rent in the money that you want, with the rules that you want. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, so, you know, imagine that en masse. And that's what it basically is. Everybody's so worried about following these motherfuckers' rules, bro, because they've made it look like everyone just needs to follow those rules. When in actual fact, if everybody got up one day and just said, hey, we're not following these rules, we're not using this money, we're not using this system, which would obviously never happen, right? All in one day.
And that would be anarchy. That's the definition of anarchy, isn't it?
No, but it wouldn't be the definition of anarchy, because what it would mean, yeah, right, is that all of those numbers on the screen that these motherfuckers have got and the pieces of paper, yeah, would mean nothing. So everybody else who has resources, which are majority of the resources in the world, are still unowned by these people, right? So what I'm trying to say to you, yeah, they're owned fractionally between other people, which is the majority of the world. So if yeah, like we were all to say, yeah, we're not accepting the system, we're not accepting this money, yeah, they have nothing to pay us with, bro.
No, but the thing is, if you have anarchy,
recognize that they're a bad actor at the same time, yeah, so nobody does business.
Yeah, but Gold, if you have anarchy, then people would then, nobody has ownership, because these people who own these buildings, who own you know, rich, valuable assets, those assets could be taken, because it's anarchy. True anarchy is the people rising up and taking the land, taking buildings, taking rich assets, and therefore there is no ownership, because it now doesn't belong to you anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're going to have clans. You're going to have, naturally, it's going to go into clans. Nobody's going to go like individually. Yeah, we're going to go get some stuff. You're going to create clans, and then you're going to get governance naturally. Governance is natural to people. You know, like we need that. We need structure. We're going to create structure. There's no, we're going to do it Rambo style, right?
Yeah.
So the anarchy is temporary. This idea that it's just a revolution, you know, until something better stabilizes.
No, but
here's the problem, though, right? This is the big problem: is that everything that was just described is what led to the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. Like, and that's my fear, is that, like, yeah, the system sucks, I want it gone, but if you get rid of that system and then it naturally goes to communism, and that's my fear, because communism doesn't work.
What it does is the system that has been overthrown is replaced by another system, because as the guys were just saying, the clans are going to form. So each clan is going to have followers, and then the most powerful clan is going to take over the other clans. It's just like law of the street, isn't it? If you've got gangs and the most powerful gang is...
No, but Livelounge, honestly, like, I mean, I've studied this shit. This is exactly what happened in Russia, where there was like clans of farmers, the army, like fucking all these different sections of Russian society grouped together to say, we've had enough, right? And then, so you can't really have like the army taking over and saying, we're in total control, because they still need the farmers to feed them. You know, and this is what led to communism, where these groups had to agree with each other. We all need each other, so we have to work together. Like, and that's on, and I'm not like, I don't like the idea of it, like, but that's the natural progression. So you would need something to basically, when any revolution like that's about to happen, you would need to have people there that have a new system ready to be enacted very quick to stop communism taking over.
Yeah, but you know look at what's happening in America at the moment. You have a president that's come in who came in on a gigantic wave. Everybody thought that he was like going to save the country and make America great again. His polling ratings are through the floor at the moment. However, what he's done, he's set certain structures in place with Supreme Court, with blue states and red states, and he's threatened the media, he's threatened law firms, he's threatened colleges and universities, and put certain people in place. And if you talk bad against him, it's going to be very detrimental for you.
But Livelounge, listen to yourself, right? Like, I'm not arguing with that part of it. Look at New York, the greatest city in mankind's history, and it's now been overtaken by communism.
Nah, I don't believe that. It's
not just communism, the Islam, feminism, all the worst isms it's being taken over by. Like, they can't even plow the fucking snow anymore. Like, it's done. It's over, man. If we continue down this road, it's over. And just to say the president, he's getting power and all that, there hasn't been a president that hasn't tried to amass more power. Biden did it through COVID. He did it through the printing. Trump did it through printing prior to that. The Patriot Act, all that. All these things, they were always trying to get more power out of it. So this ain't new to Trump. I hate when people go like, oh, look what Trump is doing. He's trying to get power. They've all been doing that shit and breaking the law constantly. That's what.
But how can he be so corrupt that he's doing insider trading, he's lining the pockets of his people around him, his family, and the poor working class.
Pelosi wasn't doing that? Pelosi wasn't doing that under Biden?
All of them.
She's worth like $300 fucking million.
Yeah.
And she's a nobody politician. The president only makes $350,000 a year, and this bitch is worth fucking $300 million. Has anybody give a shit about that? They don't. They pick a side, they pick blue or red, and then they go, oh no, my red team is fucking infallible. And I'm saying we need a king, so we have one guy that we can fucking blame. And if he's no good, we get him the fuck out. That's what he needs. We need a sword of Damocles hanging over these motherfuckers' heads. They're all comfortable. That's the problem. All these politicians, bankers, they're all comfortable.
Do you actually, in your wildest dreams, do you believe in your wildest dreams that Trump is only earning $350,000 a year? That's just a smokescreen.
I'm saying on paper. That's what I'm saying the idea that a president only makes $300,000 a year is so fucking retarded. He should be making at least $1 billion a year. And then I could go, okay, he's making some choices. He's the actual leader. If he's making there's comedians that make more than fucking $300,000 a year.
Exactly. So that's a smokescreen. So why did you bring it up? Because it means nothing.
Because it shows that the system is a joke. The main leader, the fucking leader of the world, is making $300,000 a year. What kind of horseshit?
He's not the leader of the world. He's not the leader of the world. Don't ever say that. That's disrespectful.
See,
what is that disrespectful?
What I was going to say.
I mean, it's the number one superpower, right? So I'm saying if you're the president,
it's not the number one superpower.
What I was going to say with what Gaspanic was saying before with the communism thing is the thing is now, right, with describing communism, right, there's a skewed line, like, right, in we all get along kind of way that people would describe communism, because that's not the part of it that makes it communism. The part of it that makes it communism is we all get along, but only one power ever says what people do. Do you understand? So you still have a dictatorship, but just that it's forcing everybody to get along. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Right? If you have people just getting along, that is more skewed to socialism. And so do you see where I say, like, with Austrian economic system, you have all three of them, because Austrian economic system thinks about commerciality and business and how economics is run and built. It thinks about responsibility on many levels, so it's the responsibility is more distributed, between the different clans or groups or whatever we want to say, right? So it has that element of, let's say, communism or socialism in it.
Listen, I agree with you, but this is why I also agree with the Austrian economics thing. It's the best system, but why has that system never been put into place? Because the fuckers that are all holding us hostage made sure that couldn't happen.
They make sure, Gaspanic, that the average guy doesn't even know that shit exists. The average guy doesn't, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's you speak to economists, bro. Like, speak to economists. Go online, I don't know, type in the world's top economists, like top 5 world's economists, right? Go and type in then to YouTube or to Google again
that person's name and then their thoughts, like so and so on Austrian economics, and you'll probably see that you'll probably get through the top 20 and maybe find only a few of them that even talk about Austrian economics, because they just only understand economics through a very small set of lenses, or through only the lens of capitalism. When you talk about financial advisors and bank managers, they only see shit through the focus of literally just a capitalist system. They don't. You try and teach them economics outside of that, bro. Like, then they're like, what is this? It's a completely new system. Do you understand? It's as I said, just like Sharia banking or whatever, right? They're going to be glazed over, bro. They don't know, because they've never been taught about this shit. It might have been mentioned during their studies, even in uni. If they go uni, they still work, unless they specialize in it. They're not going to be taught about this shit.
Yeah, but what you're talking about is just the best system to rule the masses, because that's all we're talking about, really.
No, we're not saying it's the best system to rule.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying what is the best system to rule the masses? That's what we're talking about here.
No, but there isn't really a system to rule the masses. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't say it in that sense, right? There's a system that the masses or the people or that humans can use, innit? And that system, maybe we haven't even discovered it yet. Do you understand? But it's not capitalism. We know that it's not that doesn't work. And we know that it's not pure communism, because that doesn't work. And we know that it's not pure socialism.
But you know why it doesn't work? You know why it doesn't work? The reason it doesn't work is because every system you have out there involves human beings. Human beings have all the human frailties, such as greed, envy.
Yeah, they're prone to error.
Exactly.
So everything in nature, though, everything in nature, Livelounge, is prone to error.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Talking about with chaos, yeah, like chaos. When they say that whole Illuminati phrase, the whole order from chaos, bro, that's like an actual thing. Bro. Do you understand? Like, the whole universe is like that, man. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's chaotic, but it forms order over time.
Yeah, but when you have a system, when you have any system, whether it's capitalism, socialism, in place, there is always, because of human beings involved, there is always somebody who's going to try to either overthrow or usurp, which is get the better of the people who are controlling, because the system that's always in place is always in the hands of the few. And there's always going to be somebody.
That's an assumption.
No. I'm not saying. Listen. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. What I'm trying to say to you is that even in the animal world, as we know, it's going to be survival of the fittest or the strongest. There's going to be a head lion that's going to control the pride. That's just the way things are. And there's always going to be somebody who's going to challenge him. So whether every 4 years they have an election. If they have an election, because if the leader or the group of leaders, the group of people who are leading the masses are not strong enough, or they're not doing things right, they will get voted out. But with a dictator,
again, you're using the vote. Those are the puppets.
An honest leader,
you're doing exactly the same thing again, Livelounge. You're thinking of the thing within the same systematic rules. Like, you're not zooming out, bro. You need to zoom out.
Yeah, but even an honest leader has to kill somebody. An honest leader has to kill a few people.
When you were talking about the animals, yeah, right, like in the way of the animal kingdom is, that's more zooming out, though, because you're looking at it from the level of nature. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like a natural thing.
Yes.
Like when we're looking at all of this, bro. Like I said, the whole entire everything in the universe is numbers, bro. Don't never get it twisted. It's all maths. Do you understand? And the more numbers you have, eventually, the more numbers you have, the more numbers you have, eventually anomalies occur. When anomalies occur, yeah, and you have more numbers again on top of that, bro. Eventually, patterns form, and that's what we call systems, bro. Do you understand what I'm
talking about? Survival of the fittest, and it's the same as survival.
Yeah, Livelounge. You see a side of lion. Livelounge. A pride of lion doesn't wait 4 years to have a vote.
Exactly.
A pride of lions. Right, yeah, so are we all in agreement here then? Really, we need a fucking agreement. Thanks for looking.
Survival of the fittest or survival of the smartest? Which one wins? Come on. Survival
of the fittest, yeah. Like, if you think about it like in those terms, yeah. Survival of the fittest, yeah. Endurance, isn't it? Because it's the fittest, right? So it's endurance, right? Because if you're strong might doesn't mean anything, because if you're always gonna have a weak spot in it, right? It's balance, isn't it, right? So like I was saying before, yeah. So What I'm saying is survival of the fittest is going to be endurance, right? Survival of the smartest. Yeah,
go on.
Survival of the smartest. Yeah, you can learn to endure. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? And if you're smart enough to work that out, so it becomes. What I'm saying is that when you put it to what I was saying, to the actually simplest terms of just everything in general, how the universe fucking works. Like I said, if you just boil it down to pure numbers, fam, you're always going to have an anomaly, which is either the fittest or the smartest. Yeah, right. When that anomaly happens, you can continue counting, bro. Yeah, you can continue counting until another anomaly happens, and that anomaly is going to challenge what you thought about the first anomaly. That is the two things going head to head. Do you understand?
But if you're smart,
then you continue counting again, right? And then eventually a pattern emerges, right? And then when the pattern emerges, again, that's what you would call a system, bro. Yeah. So the two could go head to head. They could be fighting for years over the who's the strongest or the fittest and who's the fucking smartest or whatever. Then eventually they're gonna have to come together to realize that to change the pattern, because there's a pattern that's going on. Yeah, they're going to have to realize to change the pattern, they have to think about putting these two things together, or the two numbers have to be put together. You understand? And that's why
exactly what you're saying there. Right, exactly what you're saying there, Gold. This is studies that have been observed in chimpanzees where the most successful leader of chimpanzees is the one that can get all the strengths to work together. It's not, like, the leader is never the one that's the strongest or the smartest or the fucking whatever. Like, the leader is generally always the one that can get the strongest and the smartest and whatever else to work together. And then they all agree, fucking hell, this guy's being successful because he knows how to get the skills from everyone and put them together.
Yeah. Let the American cousins have a say as well. I think they were making good contributions.
I just had a question, right? Because you were saying, like, even in your analogy, you're saying, the lions, right? The king of Africa is the elephants, right? So the elephants, whenever the main alpha male gets replaced, he doesn't get replaced by lions. It's still elephants. So I'm saying in the same way, the bankers are still at the top. So we're replacing these leaders we're replacing the fucking chimps and saying, we made a change. We didn't replace the lions or the fucking, or the elephants. So what I'm saying is, if we believe that it's a pyramid structure, right? If we were to topple the main guy, right? There's no way that it wouldn't create a havoc around the fucking world, right? So we haven't had that since when? I would say since, like, the time of Jesus, when he was flipping tables and shit, right? Like, we didn't have this transformation where it created crazy shit. Only when kings were doing it and Jesus was doing it. That's it. There was, or dictators, the ones that were allowed to kick out the banker. Nobody else was successful. Maybe Hitler, but again, some would claim that's a dictator as well.
Mm-hmm. But we've had this discussion before.
The maddest thing about the elephant analogy that you just gave, sorry guys, I just want to add on to the analogy quick, but the maddest thing about that elephant analogy is technically the elephant is the biggest, the strongest, and the smartest, because they say elephants never forget, and they react actually, as Gaspanic was saying, when it comes to the chimpanzees, we relate the actions of chimpanzees because of the way that they're bipedal, so on and so forth, right? But with elephants, they're actually smarter than chimpanzees, my guy, because they don't forget shit, bro. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, but remember, we've had this discussion before. We've had this discussion before. If this was a village, who would rule long term? The smartest or the biggest, or the ones with the ones with the biggest brains, or the ones with the biggest muscles?
That's the point that I made, though, Livelounge.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you.
This has been observed in chimpanzees. It's not the strongest or the smartest. It's the one that can get the strongest and the smartest to work together for the tribe's success.
But that is the smartest. But that is no.
But the joke is about what you just said again.
That is the smartest.
Is the
no, but even the greatest philosophers were soldiers. Like, they had both. They understood that you had to have both to be, like, at the top.
Yeah, but listen.
That's what I'm saying. This is why you can't have a single person, because when the thing is, right, when you're going to have this, I know that Gaspanic described it as a person, but what will happen is that will generally be a group of people, yeah, right, like, or, you know, a group of animals that are deciding that, in the same way that with the chimpanzees, you know, there's going to be alpha or whatever up the ranks, you know, who's going to decide this, right? So you're always going to have groups. It's always going to be groups. But the problem that we live in right now, which is what the whole discussion is about, the problem that we live in is that the groups, yeah, are all the only sovereign decision makers here, right? Whereas in the instance that we were all, as part of these different groups, we'd all be sovereign decision makers. However, we would all gravitate to what's best for the clan, as what you know, Gaspanic has said. But what happens here is we're told that there's one representative. So when before, you know, it was like, the world leader and all of this stuff, we're always told, we're wheeled out one guy or one chick or whatever that's running that country, bro. That's what we're wheeled out. So we're running around worrying about this one person, when even if you just look at around them, the cabinet members, right? You understand? So it's a group of people, but the group of people, again, is another group above them and so forth. So no matter what structure that you work in, it's always going to be groups of groups of groups of groups. It will never ever come down to one guy. Do you understand? This
is a really...
And if it does, someone will just lick him off today, brother.
Yeah, but this is really simple. This is really simple. Listen, this is, as I said, the law of the animal world. The smartest, as I said, I'm still sticking by it, the smartest will always survive, for the simple reason that you put a human being in a cage with a lion, he's going to get eaten. You put him in a cage with an elephant, he's going to get trampled on. But we're not the strongest, we're not the fittest. There's loads of animals that can run faster than us, can lift more than us, but we're the smartest, the biggest brain, which is us. We put them in cages. They would tear us apart in a second, but we are the smartest. So we've ruled the animal kingdom, and now we're going to rule each other. It's just...
Yeah, but remember where this conversation started, though? Mm-hmm. This conversation started talking about that ginger idiot Angela Rayner. Right? These are the people that are in charge right now. They're not the smartest.
Exactly.
Bro, listen to this. What about this Gaspanic Livelounge, right? So listen... We don't necessarily know that we're the smartest. We are just bipedal and ambidextrous. That's all. Do you understand? Right? So in the end of the day, we're like the example that Gaspanic was given with chimpanzees and this whole evolution from monkeys bullshit, right? Like, so this, with that, like, you know, you can see that there's evidence, yeah, right, that like animals could think to the level and maybe or even further than us. But if they're not built in the same way, you know, like genetically, then they're not going to be able to, you know, you're not going to see an elephant driving a car, are you? Do you understand?
Thank fuck elephants don't have thumbs.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying to you, bro? They don't have thumbs. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. Like, we only assume that we're the smartest living beings, bro. Do you understand, right? Like, and we can, the reason why that is because, again, it's the mix of the physical and the brain, right? And you know, like, we're thinking this stuff, yeah, so smart. And then we have the ability physically to be able to construct buildings and cars and spoons and forks and knives and fires. Do you understand?
Listen, yeah, I mean, I'm highly of the belief that mushrooms are the fucking smartest, because in the end, we're all eaten by mushrooms.
Mushrooms are the smartest by far, Gaspanic. You are 100% correct.
I believe dolphins are the smartest.
Every single mushroom is connected to another mushroom through the earth. Like,
but just imagine if
that's how mycelial networks work.
Just imagine dolphins are smarter than us, but they allow us to believe that we're smart, but they are the smartest because they know that the human race is eventually going to destroy itself, and they know that there's going to be like a giant thing coming from space, coming to create havoc in the world, you know, from a meteor coming. It's going to hit the earth, and where they're going to be? Underwater, where they're protected from nuclear wars, they're protected from anything that's going to happen in the atmosphere. They are underwater, and they just leave the humans to be above vulnerable and above water, destroying themselves, and they're going to be wiped out eventually. So, and they're like, it's not going to affect us.
So we're all in agreement here. Humans are shit, and mushrooms and dolphins run the planet.
I don't know. I'm team plankton.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gaspanic's first one. I'm gonna go team mycelium still.
Imagine those plankton at the deepest part of the ocean. Their life never changes. They're never in threat of being wiped out or nothing. They generations upon generations for thousands and millions of years are just going to exist, and that nothing ever changes for them. But up above, it's pure anarchy and change, and people fighting wars, and the weather destroying a civilization, and all sorts of things happening. But under the sea, it's a constant. And that might be when you get so smart and we start using 30, 40, 50, 60% of our brains, we will just revert to being plankton under the sea. And that might be a more constant and fruitful life.
That's a lot of us had it right.
Eaten by no whale.
That's a new one, bruv. Like fucking man's just gonna sprout gills and dive in the ocean like Aquaman.
Evolve, you know.
Mad. Crazy. Joey, I ain't heard from you for a minute, brother. Any thoughts?
He can't hear you. He's underwater.
Yeah, I'm just about to
He's evolved into a dolphin.
Are you taking a swim? Yeah. Are you talking to the fish?
He's going to go find Nemo and then one day.
Oh, stop it!
I'll tell you, if and when World War III ever happens, or we ever get hit by a meteor, the animals on the sea who will be protected by the water are going to be the safest people on the planet, because they don't need air. They don't need
mycelium doesn't get affected by that shit either. Like, that's what I'm saying. The fucking mushrooms rule the land. Like, that's every step of the way.
You sure mushrooms don't get affected by?
Mycelium or tardigrade, bro. Mycelium or tardigrade. I'll take any one of those two personas.
Do they not get affected by nuclear fallout? Mushrooms?
Nah, they can survive that shit. No problem.
Okay.
Doesn't water get affected by nuclear fallout?
No, not at all. That's why they have nuclear plants with and they have nuclear reactors underwater. If you are underwater and there's a nuclear bomb happen and the whole land gets contaminated, it can't pass through water.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you need air to breathe, so you'd be underwater for a while, but then you would need air at some point.
Yeah. And obviously,
just ask Joey how it works, man.
But if you didn't, but as I said, this goes to what is the best system to rule the masses, and whether it's hidden dishonesty or in your face dishonesty. I think that, as I said, we've all decided that they are the same, and we like to be kept in the dark. That somebody is very honest and benevolent.
Just like a fucking mushroom, it needs to be kept in the dark and fed shit.
Exactly. And we've all seen the Matrix. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what literally we're in. We always like to believe that we've been ruled by Sorry?
You believe we're in a simulation?
I don't know if I believe in it, but I can understand the concept of the Matrix, the series of Matrix films. That if this isn't real and we're all just in a dream, there's not much you can do about it. And the thing is, we're in a dream, and I'd like the best dream that I could have, because what is life like other than just feelings and emotions and electrical impulses? And I'd probably want the best.
How about you're in a simulation, but you're not in a simulation, but you're in a simulation, but you're not in a simulation? How about that? Do you understand? How about that? Because that's
again, as we talked about on that space that time, I was saying, infinity's not infinity.
Yeah.
Like, infinity has an end, but that end is only by perception. So, therefore infinity doesn't have an end, and it's actually infinity, but you can measure it down to as far as you could possibly perceive to measure it.
Yeah.
But then maybe someone comes along tomorrow and measures it an extra digit.
True that.
It's the whole thing is mind blowing, because at the end of the day, listen, what's beyond this galaxy? What's beyond the whole everything? There has to be. Where did it all begin? We certainly can't be the only planet in the whole of the galaxy and solar system that's got life. So there is life out there, and there is.
What? So you believe we're not the only species out? There is other species of life out there.
Of course. Well, it'd be arrogant to believe that the Earth, this one planet in this one solar system, and there's probably multiple solar systems and galaxies out there. How can this one planet be the only one that has life? It's impossible. It's impossible. But I've just wondered why those other planets or those other life forms can't travel across the galaxy to come to this planet. Why? It's mind blowing, but it's what should we worry about?
It's not worth it. It's better to be mycelium and fucking plankton.
Yes, exactly. Why worry about something you can never get to the bottom of?
True.
Yeah, we just need to worry about trying to make as much money as we can in the between 70, 80 years, 90 years, the little amount of time we're on this planet.
Yeah.
Every birth is a sentence to death. So therefore, we're going to be here, we do what we can, and then we're gone. Somebody explained something to me years ago. He said, you see, when the sperm travels up to meet the egg,
yeah,
there are hundreds of millions of sperm go up there. Only one get through, and the rest fall away and die.
Yeah.
When there is a death and a funeral, there are hundreds of people who take that person and put it in the ground, and that person, if you think about it literally, will travel to the other side, which is what we all think is heaven, hell, or the afterlife. And that person, the egg that gets through can never communicate to the rest of the eggs what it's like on the other side. And when the other person is died and goes over to the other side, they can never explain to the people they've left behind what it's like on the other side. And it's a similar kind of interaction.
So I would word that differently though, and I would say, like, when you die, you go into the ground, and then the mushrooms eat you.
You're still on about these mushrooms. That's the physical. But I'm talking about this.
Man, but that goes to that point, though, is the human arrogance that we're the best. But really, like what are we here for? To feed the mycelium, so they're more powerful than us because we're their food.
Yeah, but that's just the physical. We all know that the physical is nothing to do with.
Dude, have you ever taken fucking magic mushrooms, man? That goes well beyond the physical.
But the difference between what's the physical and what's the psychologically our brains, do you know what I'm saying, or our spirit. The spirit is something different to the physical. Do you understand?
When you talk about like the different planets, like, and like universe out of this galaxy, so on and so forth, right? But remember, like, even when we're looking for life in other places, remember that we're looking for life based on our definition of what life is.
That's true.
So we may believe that on this planet, as humans, that spirit and all of these other things, like, even though it might be real to us, to what is defined as living in another planet, we do not know. Do you understand? We don't know if things are thinking or acting or moving. I remember many years ago they was talking about that rock, it's rocks, isn't it? There's those rocks that move on Mars or whatever it is. Should I say to you, they slide across Mars.
Yeah.
Right? You guys should say to you, right? and they're saying it's like some kind of thing to do with the atmosphere. How we know them things I ain't fucking living fucking beings, bro? That's moving along the fucking thing. How do we not know that? Like, they could just be rock, like, look like rock or whatever. Like, so that's what I'm saying. It's all a matter of the perception and where you are at. If your number, like I said, if you just draw it down to numbers, if there's zero, there's nothing, right? So the moment that there's a one, you know, and this is why like computing and shit is done in ones and zeros. The minute there's a one, there's an anomaly in it. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's like, there's with 1 and 0 in computing, it's on and off, innit? That's what they represent, on and off states. And that on and off states is taken from electricity. So it's switch open, switch close. Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. So when you look at this, like when you just again expound upon that to the way everything works, everything either happens or it doesn't. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Right? And in the way that we multiply, right, everything multiplies, as I said, into infinity until it comes to the point that we could perceivably not count it anymore. And who's to know that there's somebody out there who can't come along the next day and count an extra digit on there, right? So therefore, everything works into infinitum, yeah, right? And it's just all about how waveforms and chemicals are combined. Literally, that's it. Do you understand? Like everything, like, you get me, in this universe, as far as we've discovered, right?
As far as our knowledge,
everything is still based on perception.
It's based on it's based on a limitation of our knowledge. Imagine there's another world within a world within a world. Microscopic organisms. They are quite happily living in their own world, and their world could be like our world, as big as their little drop of water, or they are just living in a drop of water the size of a pinhead, and it's as big as the earth for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? For them, just like,
hey, you never seen that film, not the Disney film, the Dr. Zeus film, Horton Hears a Who? Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever read that book?
Yeah.
Man lives on a speck of dust.
Yes, exactly. So just because we don't have a microscope that's powerful enough to see this world, it means, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't exist. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's just on the limitation of our technology and our minds.
Yeah, welcome.
That we can't see and understand worlds within worlds. And it works the opposite way as well, because the bigger galaxy, you know, wider than the galaxy, solar systems, we don't understand the concept of what's beyond that and what's beyond whatever's beyond that. It's like, there's no point thinking about it. That's one of the guys was saying.
No, it's not even, there's no point thinking about it, bro. But what I'm saying is that, just to kind of relate it back to where we all started with what we were talking about. This is why, again, Paluka, I agree with some of the points that you made, but this is why you can't ever have one. Do you understand? There will never be just one person that runs everything. There will never, it never works like that. And that's why it will never ever work like that, because there's always, like I said, another number to count. There's always something else to discover. There's always something else to think about. There's always another group of people. There's always the laws of attraction, like physics laws. Do you understand, right? To where we're all going to gravitate towards what makes the best multiplier. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Right?
But that's where you're wrong.
That matters in negative. Can't be wrong, bro, because that matters in negative, yeah, and it matters in positive. If you have something that has a negative reaction, bro, and whatever it feeds on, it's going to continue to feed on that and multiply. If you have something that has a positive reaction, it's going to always feed on that and continue to multiply through that means. Do you understand? So when I say multiply to a negative, it means that it could be a destructive force, yeah, like fire. The more it feeds on oxygen, which is actually a good thing, it's going to fucking start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, innit? So
yeah, but you're thinking on a micro level. So a micro level.
No, but that's exactly what we need to, that's exactly what we're going to, bro. Like when we've just been talking for the last 5 minutes, I'm just saying that on a micro level, this is how it relates to what we're talking about. So when we were saying before, we as people, right, are all stuck following these fucking idiots, right? So it's because on a micro level, that's it. The people are the micro level of what we understand is our government and the way that the country's run and the way that the world is run. The people are the micro level of that. When we're talking about, when we're talking about like us talking about insects and animals and stuff like that, we're talking about like to us, like obviously like the average Joe, you start talking about insects, and then once you get to fucking like physics, it's like nano level to them. But if you talk to a scientist, bro, like nano level is true nano level. Do you understand what I was trying to say to you?
But if I had a weapon that could be so powerful, which came from a different culture, maybe outside the solar system or whatever. If I had a weapon that was so powerful, I could control one person, me, could control the whole world. Whether you're talking about money, economics, 1 + 1 is 2, or ones and open and close stuff that he was talking about, computerization. I have a tool, I have a weapon that can wipe out millions of people in the blink of an eye. I am so powerful that one person, whether I invented it or I just found it, it came from space and I had it, I would be that supreme leader of the whole world. That is nothing to do with brains. That's just.
Would you be a physical being? Would you be a physical being? That's what I've asked many people this question, bro. Because what you're saying is the power of knowledge, of knowing everything. And I've asked this to so many people. If you fucking knew everything in the world, you right now, Livelounge, would you be a physical being, bro?
Well, I don't think I would be.
Exactly. What would be the point in being a physical being? So if
because you'd only live 80 years or 90 years.
Well, no matter what kind of physical person, human being, atom, whatever, however you live, right, you would know everything. So you would know how to break down all of this into molecules or whatever. If you discovered that shit, like it's too many pieces to go together to even create what you're thinking. So to even have this machine or this power or whatever that you're talking about, how did that get there? How did you get there to get the power, fam? There's something above you still, even then. Do you understand?
Yeah, but you'd be smart enough.
That came together.
This machine that would give you that knowledge would know only you would have this knowledge, and you would keep that knowledge from everyone else, because if everybody knew how to do it, they would also be on your level, because they would also get the power. Control the masses. So
all it takes at Livelounge, as we were saying before, you have one person, as you said, the smartest, the fastest, the fittest, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say to you. Then again, an anomaly comes along. So then there's this one thing or this one effect, yeah, from the causation of what you're doing, the causality of what you're doing. There's this one effect, yeah, that happens that fucks you over or makes you have to reinvent your machine, or you can only use it one time, this power or whatever. There will always be an anomaly, bro. You're going to be using this, destroying humans, bringing them back to life, doing all of this shit, controlling, until the one fucking anomaly happens, bro. Or until you want to figure out how can you destroy yourself? How can you, do you understand? You would go so fucking mad, crazy, bro. This shit would be fucking out of this fucking world, out of your brain, you know. That is to say, spontaneous combustion, fam. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Your brain would explode.
But right? That would be, are you talking about, isn't that God?
No, but I'm saying,
knowing and all seen.
Whether you wanna, no, but what I'm saying is whether you wanna attribute the title God or whatever to it, right? My point is this: if you are at this level of knowledge, bro, yeah, right, you still, it doesn't prove that you as you one can continue to keep running everything in a stable sense, because there is still something that can unravel you, bro. You
absolutely. You can't.
You see what I'm saying?
Can you ever?
Can never have one. That's what I'm saying.
Can you ever be omnipotent, all knowing, and like all seeing? But if you're all knowing and all seeing, wouldn't you know that there's going to be an anomaly?
Yeah, but then to go and search for that anomaly or to find that anomaly is likely going to be of detriment to whatever it is that you plan to do, bro. It's likely going to be a detriment, because even if it takes up 1 second of your time to have to think about it, bro, yeah, it's already affected. It's already, it's changed the causality, bro, immediately.
Very true.
Even if you think that, this is dangerous to me, I've got to go and destroy it to be the all-powerful whatever, bro. That just going on that mission, embarking on that mission alone, cuz, changes the dynamics of whatever the fuck you thought you had in your hand before. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You get me? Right,
lads, I don't know how a question about Angela Rayner got us onto quantum mechanics, theology and philosophy. Like, what the fuck, man?
String theory.
It's crazy, isn't it?
But still, though, there was.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I was just trying to bring it back anyway.
Yeah.
What I was saying is that's you know, everything that we talked about here when it gets to that level of what we talked about, you know, is why you cannot have a total dictatorship forever, why you cannot have you know, democracy necessarily work perfectly forever, and why you can't have fucking, you know, I should say to you, monarchies forever, because it's always going to boil down to all of the working parts of the system to eventually see things evolve or change or stabilize, right?
But monarchies allow for change and resets. Democracies do not. That's my whole point. So it's actually it's more aligned to your the way you're speaking, your ideology.
Go on, keep going. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's it. That's all I have to say is that it aligns more with that idea that we need a reset, right? Like even your computer or your router or whatever, you need to reboot it every once in a while, right? Like you have to shut it down. So the same thing with monarchies. It allows that option. It has that option of reset, removal. I don't see it with democracy. We have a permanent state in every country that's running under democracy. And I don't see how you're going to remove that or reset that.
Okay.
And I would agree with you slightly there that in the sense of, you know, when you have like total absolution, like a monarchy, something like that, you know, a total dictatorship, that does change. It is the signal of a change, or it is the start of a change, as you said. You know, it's just, as I said, it's just, you know, we know that doing that for too long, however, always leads to the same road. So it's just, you know, it's this game that we play in it, fam. Like, so to speak, it's just infinitum, as I said to you. Everything goes around, comes around, as they say, right? Like, you know, and it's just, I think that humans have built themselves into a place where this has become more relevant over time. Do you understand? Like, we've built ourselves into the, because if we were just all running around like, you know, open and free, living off the land, whatever, fucking, it would still get here. You know, I've said this many times in the space. You can never reset back to, you know, people want to talk about technology, that, bro, you can never reset back to caveman times, bro, because you're going to fucking create a fire, bro, and the moment you create a fire, then I'm going to slap you in your face and say, I thought you didn't want to use technology, my guy. You understand what I'm saying? The moment I see you with a loincloth on, bruv, I'm kicking you in your balls, bruv. What are you doing with technology? Do you understand? So, and eventually everyone's going to get pissed off with me doing that and off me and start building shit. You see what I'm trying to say to you, bro? You get me? Like, so, yeah.
Bloody hell. Yeah, any other thoughts? Jay, Joey, you back? No?
Straight clipper side, please, man. Still. Clipper side is a clipper side.
Well, I will say, because I have got like work first thing in the morning, so I will ask people them for their final thoughts on this space today. It was actually a really, I will say, like, it's been a really good space today. Had a decent couple things to talk about, and then we had this. Actually, a really good conversation. It went on for age, but it was a really good conversation. I enjoyed every minute of it. So yeah, any other thoughts? Final thoughts on the space.
I think we need to find a way of communicating with the mycelium, and that'll solve the world's problems.
That could work.
Basically, I agree with Gaspanic. Yeah, mushrooms for all. Yeah, right. Mushrooms should be just handed out. Mushrooms are weed for everything. Mushrooms are weed for president. Yeah.
No, it's true.
It's a really, really, really good space, isn't it? Like, sometimes it's cool to deviate off of those things, to look deeper into, you know, like just how we all think about things. And you notice the funny thing about all of the things that we talked about is the more and more we got deeper and deeper into the, you know, into the weeds of things, right? We all agree more and more and more and more. You know what I'm trying to say to you, right? So like I said, like to Livelounge earlier, like, you know, you break shit down. That's where we all operate at. We all operate at this micro level in what we call economies or governments or societies, right? We're all at the micro level. So the fact that we're able to make decisions together, yeah, and come to conclusions together on that micro level is more important than the people that run the country, bro. Yeah. Always. You get me? Because it's the majority.
I hear that. No, I fully hear that, man. Right, and thank you for that still.
And when we have discussions like this about the topics we were just discussing, it kind of makes us understand the fruitfulness, the futileness of having discussions about stuff that really, on the grand scheme of things, doesn't make much difference to our lives. As in, there's always going to be somebody, we're battling against people who have different ideas in the world when we're all the same at the end of the day. And this kind of discussion makes us realise that. So whether you're left, right, centre, whether you're from the UK, you're from the US, we're all here for a limited amount of time. As I said, we're all here for a limited amount of time, and even if we are trying to gather as much money for capitalist methods, whatever, to have the elite who are the rulers, who are accumulating more money because of their position in society, they're only going to be here for a limited amount of time, and then their generations and the generations thereafter will everyone's just looking after themselves and their generation, just like a village. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the person who's the leader of the village is always going to he's going to spread his seed and make sure his seed become the future leaders who are going to rule, and everybody's here only for a time, and it's all pointless. So what do you do with the limited amount of time that we're here in this dimension, in this world? What do you do with it? Do we spread love, or do we just gather as many, much money as we can, money and power? Just like in a village, if you gather as much crops, fruit, food, just so you can have a really happy life, and then when you go, and then you make sure that your children, your children's children, and so on, have as much food and don't have to worry about anything. It just makes you realise, when you see things like the Trumps of this world and other leaders in China, Russia, whatever, all lining their pockets and lining their families' pockets, and everyone else around lining their pockets. What's the point for this? Because they're going to die, we're all going to die, so why be horrible to other people? Why do that? Let live and let live, and but no one, we can't accept that. Live and let live, and everyone be happy, because of, as I said, human beings, we suffer from greed, envy, and that's our problem. Greed and envy makes one group think that they can eat all the resources and share it between themselves. That's envy and that's greed. And that's not good.
Okay. No, I hear that, man. Well, thank you for that. I will just quickly ask, Palooka, how did you find the space today, man?
It was interesting, we went off in a tangent, so I was listening a lot. And the thing is, I still feel like, I'm not, I'm assuming you guys are all Brits or from the UK or whatever. So we have like a different idea of what's going on. And but the thing is, I'm Croatian as well, so I understand Europe. And that's why I'm for the monarchy, because our history has been one of monarchies. So this whole democracy shit is brand new. It's like synthetic. It doesn't feel right. And as far as what saying, I agree with it. But at the same time, I just want to be left the fuck alone. That's basically what I want. I want to be left the fuck alone and be allowed to do what I want to do with my family and my friends, and that I could dictate what I do on my land, and that I could have some kind of ownership, which all governments are kind of against. But if I had to choose one, it's going to be monarchy, because at least he's tied to the land. The king is tied to the fucking land.
Okay. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Definitely. So I'll ask again, Joey, you about? Even if you're not about and you're busy, that's cool. Fling an emoji if you can.
Man, I get in the zigzag part, man. Quick fade.
Huh? Quick fade.
Man, I get in the zigzag part in, bro. You get me? Look. Joey just took off the cape. Look.
Bloody hell. Alright, well, what I will say is this. Thank you, everyone, to everyone that's jumped in today. It's actually been a brilliant space today, man. I've really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Thank you to you, Gold. You know what I mean? Always informative. Like, it's been a really good conversation with you today, man. Thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you to you, Livelounge, aka The Problem. You know what time it is. You know what I mean? Always with the alternative view, so thank you so much for that. You know what I mean? Gaspanic, always a pleasure having you in, man. Thank you so much for jumping in. You know what I mean? Palooka, again, as well, man. Thank you for jumping in today, man. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in. You know what I mean? And hearing your thoughts and opinions. You know what I mean? Joey, man of balance. You know what I mean? Always about, even though they're sitting in the chair today, they're busy today, but still, man of balance, thank you for being there. You know what I mean? And co-host with the most, it's always an honor as per usual. You know what I mean? Also, big thank you to Josh, you know what I mean, and Brian, you know what I mean, and JDG Dread, and Cobrim, and Spiritual Angelo, and Lucy Banks, and everyone else that's jumped in. You know what I mean? And on top of that, people them, I'll be back real soon with more topics, more conversation, and until that time, I will speak to everyone real soon. Take it easy, everyone.
See you later.
Take it easy, my babes. Cheers. See you soon.